Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Lan and Cthulhu are here to entertain. What is up, man? How are you doing today, Cthulhu?
Not too bad. Feeling pretty good. Quite excited for tonight as well, Ian. How about yourself?
Mate, I am rearing to go. Honestly, it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. We've got PC419 tonight versus Downfall. Our first map for the night as well, by the look of it, my man, is, Oh, did we not pin it? Oh, jeez, man. Hold
It
up.
is back.
It's Bank. Oh, a map that we never see. It's like that's sarcasm, by the way. We've got Cafe afterwards, and we've got a little bit of a role swap going on. So we'll be seeing PC41 go into attack for the second map. But for the first map, oh no, they will be going to a defense on the second map. First map will be on attack. Downfall have been having an interesting time so far, but don't listen to me. Let's just look at the statistics themselves. Looking at the ladder board here, boys and girls, we've got Team CryptiK at 5 wins and 1 loss. Paradox Rainbow Six with 5 wins, 3. They played yesterday against Voltic, who took it out 7-5 on Consulate, and then I think Voltic lost 7-2 to Paradox on which was the other map? It eludes me. But nonetheless, both teams had a 1-1 score, followed also by Rhythm, who recently played at the Rainbow Six Masters. So good job to them for making it to the LAN and leaving right now with a 4-2 win-loss, sitting at thirds. Voltic at 4-4 right now. So we'll see where Rhythm really sit after tonight. They will be playing, I think, off stream. I don't think we'll be casting them later tonight, right, Cthulhu?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. So after that, we got PC419 at 3-3. We'll be seeing them play right now. Sleeper Gaming later on tonight, 3-3 as well. Downfall not doing so well, 1-5, and then Justice 1-5 as well. So these two teams that we thought we'd see maybe a little bit higher in the league, Cthulhu, kind of dropping off in the start. Do you think it's recoverable for them?
I do think that this is recoverable, albeit that it would take him a fair amount of effort to get back up there. But the Downfall roster did compete in Challenger League earlier this year, and they've been showing quite some promise. To be honest, they had a pretty good lineup, at least fragging wise, and they were able to raise a couple of eyebrows really in regards to their performance against some of the more experienced teams. Whereas on the side of PC419, technically, if you look at the standings, yes, they are a much more in a much better performing team. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you look closely at the matches that they've played out, all of them were really you technically could call them a draw, 1-1. So they only managed to score a single point each from each one of their matchup, apart from the previous season's matchup against Paradox, which they managed to actually win 2-1. So all in all, I'm kind of thinking we might be seeing a similar case here, where the teams would really just trade maps, and that will be the day.
Yeah, so I mean, we are seeing quite a bit of trading so far. We are obviously in delight and treat when we see teams like CryptiK and Paradox actually take more wins than they do losses. CryptiK will be playing later on tonight as well. So once we see CryptiK come in for our second matchup, we'll see where they really stand, whether or not Paradox is going to be doing better than them. But at the moment, it doesn't look like so. How with Paradox sitting at 5 wins and 3 losses right now. So most likely in this, Team CryptiK will still be at the top of this leaderboard right now, sitting at least 5-1 score line. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll see where the rest of the leaderboard lead up to. But for now, we're just waiting for a couple of players to enter into the lobby before we head into the game. But Cthulhu, what's your prediction between PC419 and Downfall? Because so far PC419 have been pretty strong, consistent, I suppose, but not exactly having the best time either compared to Downfall, who are a team, like you said, have showed so much promise, but are just unfortunately not doing too well this Challenger League.
Yeah, well, I would have to say that PC419 are getting closer to the point where they are a much more coordinated team. And looking at their previous um, matches as well, mainly against Rhythm and CryptiK. Those were the teams that were the main ones that I would kind of look out when talking about PC419's performance.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, it was Border and Clubhouse were the ones that they actually managed to win. So, in regards to the current maps, I'd say probably Bank will be the one to favor them within this matchup, being also the fact that it is their map pick out here. Whereas
Yeah.
Cafe, it does boast somewhat of a similar play style, but all in all, it does offer much more close range engagements. You have plentiful amount of just spots where you could just hide up and go for those sneaky plays. So I think that's where Downfall might actually pull up some peculiar plays, considering the fact that Cafe has just been re-entering into the competitive map pool after its rework. And all in all, um, I do think that on Cafe, at the
Mm.
very least, Downfall will just have the element of surprise with some of their strats.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, I mean, Cafe is a map that's it's been so interesting, and honestly, to me, um, I feel like it's been stratted quite well so far throughout the Rally Major, throughout the recent season for the Pro League as well, and it's not over stratted just yet. I still think there's a lot of room to change things around. There's a lot of soft tissue on that map, and a lot of areas you can reinforce and really change the way you play. I don't. I mean, we haven't seen Castle come in too much so far, but it has been quite a treat to see how they've interacted with the map and how they've actually just turned. In some cases, we've seen the freezer down in kitchen actually get turned into an absolute kill box with G2 playing that with a lot of rear defense, because a lot of the meta overseas is actually focused around the freezer side and the white stairs, along with a lot of vertical control over several different sites, such as reading. Not a lot of teams go to mining these days, so not like mining's changed too much, right? I just feel like I think mining is just not as good as reading, not as consistent, not as safe. There is that
The
space in between, right?
Yeah, the issue that there is with mining is mainly the fact that that buffer room in between, where the train is located, is has become a bit more vulnerable, just due to the fact that you have destructible floor, you have destructible roof as well above the that room, and to defend it, it's quite a challenge. Whereas, yeah, like you mentioned, reading and dining is a fantastic one to just keep going with.
And you know what? We are actually going to be going into our first game for tonight. And like I said before, like we mentioned before, it's going to be Bank. And you know what, my friend? PC419 on that first ban. Oh, no, sorry, it's Downfall on that first ban. But PC419 on that first attack. That's going to be interesting to see. And talking about stratting maps, Bank is a map that's been done so many times. But still some variation with how they play certain sites and how they've already understood the map. Border has been overstratted. Border is a map that just can't be stratted anymore. And if it is stratted more, I feel like it's going to be reaching. It's pretty far-fetched strategies coming through. But looking at the bans that are coming through, Monty and Habana being taken out of the board already, and PC419 with that last defense ban, what do you think is going to be? It's most likely going to be Mirror, to be honest.
It probably will be something across the lines of, yeah, either Mirror or Echo, maybe even.
Mm.
Just as I say that, the Echo will be banned. But yeah, um, on the side of Downfall, so far they've gone for somewhat of an unconventional ban. So I wouldn't really be expecting a Mirror ban from the defending team out here. We'll just find out in a moment. This will be
Ugh.
actually though Mirror. Okay, so only a single unconventional ban really up and around here, being Montan, and honestly, I think that this could be a good idea to do this, just due to the fact that um, the shield operator himself has quite a fair use, especially on the downstairs side.
Yeah, he just turns that narrow walkway into an absolute no zone. any given angle actually gets denied, and he can be such a real pain. I'm surprised that they didn't go for the Capital ban though. I mean, I feel like Capital is even more of a pain than anything. Maverick obviously being picked up here, and it's honestly in Challenger League, I'll say it straight, it's 50-50 whether or not that operator, the player is going to have the blowtorch usage fuel efficiency. You know, is he going to be able to get 2 hatches or not? There's a chance that answer is no. So they're going to be playing over an open area first, and that's... We don't normally see offsides get picked straight up, but I think over the last few weeks in Challenger League, it has been the case.
I think this is the second time within LPL that we see when Bank comes in that the open area will be picked as the first side. Because I think, was it... let me just quickly take a look at the previous matchups, but I'm pretty sure it was the Voltic... Not the Voltic, sorry. The Paradox match. That,
yes.
that was the case there.
But
because...
you know what, though? I really think that it can be a sort of shift in the general logic behind map picks and pacing, because maybe you want to get the hard map, the hard sites and the hard defenses out of the way first, really nail it down, and then go back to your more comfortable sites later when you really think that you either need the simpler pick or if you want to go for something for a surefire round locked under your belt. This initial push is going to be pretty interesting though, because if PC4019 play their cards right, they could get right on site right now. There aren't many players actually playing on the site other than maybe the castle. I feel like, I'm not sure where August actually is, but with a very forward evil eye over by the lobby already, he's got a lot of control, and he really sees one dangling outside the western wall.
Yeah, with August already getting plentiful amount of information, Geo should be able to start things off pretty quickly. That is, if he will be able to get the shots right, but it will be Campo to kick things off onto the downfall, and that is a pretty decent start as well, considering the fact that it was a dual push. But BC is the one to close things out onto Sealy, so that is minus the IQ.
Yeah, and you know what? Castle's actually taking the effort to reinforce the entrance downstairs and over into the vault area, but Boats picks up another kill, so now it's a 2-2 with the exothermic going down over by the tellers already. So they're breaching that open. Malzy's going to be putting some down. Ravenous is not letting them do too much about it. And while they rotate back, BC's already dropped so low. I'm not too sure how he's gonna fare. He's gonna have to try to probably stay as safe as he possibly can. But at the same time, if you look at the positioning for a lot of these defenders, sorry, I feel like they're not actually taking too many risks right now. Although I feel like Ravenous is poking his head up more than he really should. And there we go. Noob actually picks that one up. And it's going to come down to a very wounded BC and Boats with the SMG-11. I don't think that shotgun's going to pick up anything unless he's going to willingly sacrifice his life at that range and at that cost. And oh my gosh, BC whips a whole bunch of shots with the extended barrel. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of the extended barrel, but it's really not working out for him. Campo's going to go upstairs, maybe use the blowtorch a little bit more, and Boats picks up a shotgun kill. Okay, didn't actually pick up that SMG kill, but he will rotate downstairs through the servers, maybe a little bit safer. It is reinforced downstairs, rotate up the main wall, and I don't think they realize, there we go, they find him. BC's down, and it's all going to come down to Boats. Will he sail off on a yacht or actually go down hook, line, and sinker with the rest of them? Does look like the diffuser will be going down, and there we go. Campo cleaning up the game, and starting and ending with the opening and final kills.
Yeah, solid performance so far for the first round on PC419, and all in all, so far a solid start, really. They managed to take a pretty swift control of the tellers, and considering the fact that Ravenous was the one who was roaming downstairs and trying to hold a couple of angles, just well played, and I suppose we'll need to see them perform that 6 more times if they do want to end up winning the round, because attacking on Bank is one of those things that if you manage to keep controlling the pace by yourself, if you keep the pressure on, then you perfectly fine with playing attack. But the moment that pace shifts into defense favor, it's quite hard to bring it back, really.
Yeah, it really can play into the defensive strategy, and it's really gonna come to the opening, and we say free kills, whether or not the player was caught rotating, like how Campo got that free opening kill through the line of sight that the defenders made themselves. Whether or not that's gonna happen. Reinforcement's going to go off on the corner. Easily mitigated if you put the exothermic charge on that corner as well, quite tightly. But it does look like Ravenous will be the Jaeger main for the round, putting up those ADSs. As I think maybe be defending around the reception area as well. But most likely setting up some of those ADSs behind the windows as well. There we go, behind the shelf. And maybe playing slightly offside. I'd imagine BC be the only one, along with maybe Geo with those one-time scopes. August, of course, being the Mozzie. Does look like they've got a lot of area denial. We've got the Mute, and we've got the Mozzie duo combo, along with a little bit of intel granting, some intel gathering along with Valkyrie and Mozzie as well. So we've got this very intel-focused defense with some basic, entry mitigation we've got on this defending side here for Downfall. Do you think it's going to work out for them? Because they don't have any ACOG, they don't have that gunfight advantage, but they do have an SMG-11, and they've got some good damage with August, but the rest of them are really using pea shooters.
Well, for Downfall, they need to utilize their element of surprise. They are the defenders, they are the ones that need to hold the angle, so ultimately here they just need to keep holding it steadfast, really. And with the fact that they do have a castle, potentially that could be the one, the utility for them to use as leverage. But as it stands, really, oh no, Campo!
Not like this, Campo. Oh, he saves it. He got one back. It's not ideal, but he got one back. Boats, of course, dropping way too low. And oop, ADS denies one. Flashbang. One flashy boy taken out. New picks up one more kill onto Geo. That's a big kill. Oh no, not the foot. Sealy locks that one out onto August, and it does look like Boats is still taking a little bit of fire. I'm not too sure where it's coming from. Is protected. Doesn't have a lot of intel on him with the oh no, not the upside down dangle. Not the upside down dangle. Campo picking up one more, and Sealy locking it out into BC, prone by the shelf in the corner there. And he didn't even see him. He just pre-fired those gunshots, and you know what? Sometimes you gotta take those gunfights at the right time. He just really didn't pick that moment for himself there. PC4-1, pick up the second round quite simply, aside from Campo's initial blunder.
Yeah, that was definitely a great execution from the attacking squad, considering the fact that Downfall really had seemed to have all the utility down and ready, but unfortunately, that was not the case here, and even after the initial starting frag, things didn't really work out. Once again, they do bring a castle for the CEO office defense, which I find quite interesting, because castle on a higher level is used to either one, to essentially drain the utility, the breaching utility from the attackers, or two, just generate that kind of a buffer window before that castle barricade will go down, so that the defenders could do a couple of rotations and maybe expand a little bit on their movement area. But over here, some of those castle barricades didn't really make that much of a difference, really, because PC419 was still able to take quite a chunky amount of ground in a matter of less than a minute. And from there on, really, it felt that it was up to the point that Downfall really locked themselves out, really, without any ability to really rotate or kind of change their pace.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they were just boxing themselves in at one point. Like you said, they didn't get to turn that momentum into their favor. PC419 just picked them apart one by one. Campo really showing off and really being star player here so far. 2 rounds in for PC419, and they're going back upstairs again, Cthulhu. Do you think... what do you think Downfall need to do to change it around with this with their current setup, because right now Raven has got picked off, and that's Jaeger, one of their best roamers, one of their best fraggers available on their team. But it's the same setup as before, and it looks like it's gonna go down in a interesting direction. Oh
It
wait,
is interesting indeed, as that
wait. Hold
Claymore.
on, hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
Why did the Valkyrie have the shotgun equipped? The Spaz 12 is not a. I have not seen that thing in competitive for the longest time, and I mean he picked up a kill with it, but okay. August goes down as well, of course.
Yeah, well, I think that in this current particular situation, really for Downfall, they need to start thinking more about their positioning, because Ravenous went down to a very open angle to Zafia, and I don't think he was really expecting it. And some of those
Oh.
plays, well, yeah, this is the Stark, also a good example as well. Just going a little bit too aggressive, really. All you need to do is really hold an angle, and exactly that the castle should have done, really, to gain some advantage within that firefight. But unfortunately, that was not the case, and really ultimately here
Ooh.
it's just the positioning plus occasional lack of firepower potential really is what hurting Downfall quite severely.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, no ACOGs at all. And sure, you may have a strategy for running no ACOGs, and there we go. Both picks up 1 kill. It's going to be a miracle that he has to pull off in order to pick up these next 3 kills, next 3 frags, in order to bring in a win for his team. He'd have to pull out a nice little 4K here. Might pick up 1 more as he rotates over to this wall. No, the wall bang doesn't really fall through. And does look like he has to prone behind the shelf in order to pick something up. Doesn't have many shots available in the SMG 11, but there we go. Nate with the pistol kill. Takes out boats, sinks this little ship. What is this?
That was a good one. Yeah.
That oh, thank you. I feel I feel like this is some of my best work.
Don't sell yourself short just yet. Well, nonetheless, talking about sinking boats, really, they will be going down to the CCTV room and lockers. And I'm curious to see whether Kaid will this time stay around within the roster or will be 6th pick once again. Because now Castle on the downstairs hold doesn't really make much sense. And bringing in a Maestro instead of Jaeger will be this time the 6th pick choice. Ensuring that there will be, at the very least, the initial breach charge denial with a Kaid Electro Claws.
Yeah, the Artilla Claws are certainly going to be, they're going to do their job. Yeah, for sure. They don't have much to actually remove those Electro Claws right now, other than the IQ, and of course, the Maverick will work around the electrocuted hatches. But at the same time, they are going to have to find a way downstairs in order to remove the Electro Claws manually. If they hide the Artilla Claws in the right spaces, IQ will not get to that main hatch, but I'm pretty sure Maverick will instead. He should be able to get 2 crucial hatches, and that's all they really need to make something work for them. IQ is going to just be everywhere else trying to detect any other gadget that may or may not actually affect their current game plan. But it does look like once they do get these hatches open, they should have a clear line of sight all the way down to the objective, be able to clear it out, put down a lot of smoke, a lot of the fire arrows, as they are going to be called now. They're changing up the names, and get that plant off easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maestro is going to be putting out a couple of barbed wire on the back stairs, doubling it up. In fact, I'm not too sure if he wants to double it up. I mean, it does. Sometimes they both kind of get taken out at the same time if you angle it right, but they are going to go for a very lobby-focused push so far, Cthulhu. And parking. Okay.
Okay, so a push to parking could potentially ensure that PC419 would have 2 fronts to play with, which could potentially ensure the fact that Downfall would really have a split attention. And as it stands, August right now has the positioning advantage, but already loses quite a chunky amount of damage.
Oh, he loses so much health, and you know what? BC can't do much other than maybe support him when they get closer. But right now, they are rotating upstairs instead. Nate coming off a little bit better in that trade, of course. August taking a little bit too much damage, but not so much damage that they're both worried and they're both unable to actually do anything about it. I'm surprised Gio is actually playing the smoke so far up, close to that wall, close to the actual office. We normally do see that in the security room, the smokes actually play closer to the actual lockers these days. And oh no, Campo, not like this, man. This is what I'm talking about with the blowtorch efficiency, right? He's got some of that coming off, and he is going to be opening up this hatch sometime soon. I don't think he's going to get a second hatch open though.
Well, he will be able to get a couple of maybe peek holes in through the second hatch, but yeah, as it stands, really, this will be one of the few entrances. But Nate has already dropped down, and really, with Papa already opening up on Ravenous, things are not looking all well.
Yeah, they're closing in, and I don't think Downfall actually reacting to this in time. There we go. Sealy picks up boats, and Papa's going for a double kill himself. They might actually close in on these last few ones over in the vault, but no. Geo picks up Campo. The man's off his streak, and there we go. Sealy to seal the deal. Geo gets taken down, and PC419 are on the close to the PC420.
Certainly looks like it, as this was nearly a flawless round. And it seems that Downfall keep on trying to play kind of their own game, but they are not keeping an eye out for any of the flanks, because so far PC419 were able to find at least one poke hole where they could, where they were able to sneak in through. Case in point, that Capitao that dropped down in the elevators was pretty much nearly the demise, because that just opened up yet another entrance onto the site and yet another angle onto a few defenders. So all in all, just props to PC419 for really finding the good spots to push from, comparatively to what Downfall so far have been able to only, well, set up a couple of utility spots, but their positioning was really much left to be desired of.
Yeah, so far, I feel like the IQ pick is kind of wasted in this current situation. Yes, you're going to be able to detect the enemy gadgets so far. I mean, yeah, they've got the Valkyrie going on, but right now, other than the Valkyrie cameras, which don't seem to really be working out for Downfall at the moment, I don't feel they're getting the intel they require, because they didn't really react to the push down in the elevator. That should have been a free kill. People don't push that side of the site because it's hard to actually get in. But I don't know how Nate did it. He just dropped, he pushed, he picked up a bunch of kills. Everyone just pushed in and just cleaned up shop. And you know what? Downfall need to change their game. They need to get a bit more aggressive. You actually use the intel they're bringing in, because now they've got more with Ravenous on the Legion as well, and that's going to be more perimeter control. But I feel like they're still not going to utilize that to the best of their abilities. They are playing aggressive Cthulhu, but maybe not in the right instances.
It's either that, or just if they also seem to be occasionally missing a couple of firefights. So potentially, if they start feeling like, hey, we're losing ground, can't really do a whole lot, just go full on trap meta. Really, it is an old saying at this point within the current meta, within how the Pro League and Challenger League has been evolving. But having some way to deal passive damage is a good start, because that will be able to distract the attackers from actually fully trying to hunt you down. And this should be able to open up a fair few plays. Oh, Geo unable to connect any shots, and Jaeger will be the one to go for a trade. And nice C4 as well to come out from BC will be sealing Sealy's deal. And just all in all, that is a good response. Finally, Downfall showing some teeth.
Absolutely. They have to bury their fangs, and burying fangs soon, maybe. Ravenous, waiting for the right time to actually go feral on these guys. Just hanging out, waiting for the right moment, down by Central Stairs. And Geo whiffing that shot gave me a heart attack, but you know what? Both came in, saved the day, actually refragged it. And the C4 kill actually coming out as well. That was probably well timed. I would like to say planned, but does seem like it was actually quite lucky in this instance. So Jones going down there. Nate will be able to put down a couple of fire arrows. Maybe one more down here as well. One in the corner for sure. But I'm not sure. The plant will go down either. Oh, it does look like he actually is going to be going down himself, while maybe Noob actually holds the angles upstairs. couple of shots do go up. Not exactly sure where they're coming from, but he will be holding maybe the angle over by server. They haven't cleared it out by the look of it yet, but BC actually rotating up top with Ravenous, and they are closing in from the top down. Nate actually picks up August on downfall, and does look like Bolts has to fight in a very precarious position, while Nate's already pushed it all the way into lockers, and he's gonna have to rotate all the way out there, but he's in a really he's a bit of a bind, my friend.
Yeah, he certainly is in a whole lot of trouble with time running out. He doesn't really have a whole lot of ways to go about it.
He doesn't have anywhere to go. He put himself in an awkward position. Didn't get the plant down when he had the opportunity, but honestly, I felt like they really needed to clear out that server room first, because they kind of just left that open, put himself in a bad position, and without the willingness to actually push that server, clear it out himself, they just collapsed. How did he get back in, though? That's my question.
Well, they just went for a big flank around. Really, they
I mean, the Capital. Like, he pushed all the way into security room. Yeah. There was one more person behind him. Then he rotates all the way back into lockers, and no one kind of won that rotation. Like, okay.
Well, yeah. While the two players of Downfall were on rotation from above, it was only Boats who was holding the angle, so it did allow Capital to go for a very quick rotation through all the holes that Downfall really opened up. But to be honest, this was a much more confident performance from Downfall comparative to the previous 4 rounds that we saw, really, because finally they went extra aggressive. Albeit that it was a very risky trade when Boats decided to pick out from the very same service stairs, but it gave them exactly what they wanted, really, that element of surprise, that something that PC419 really were not expecting. And a good point as well that our observer made is the fact that Sealy is actually a sub for PC419. He is their analyst originally, so so far, even for an analyst, he's been doing pretty well, all things considered.
I'm gonna analyze some of these frags. Now I'm saying this guy is popping off. He's on that support role, but he's playing like an entry fragger. You know what I'm saying? He's not just bringing in these statistics, not only just bringing in some of these strats, but he's bringing in some of these kills as well. And I feel like, oh, Nate, you patient man. He's waiting for the right time to get these kills. He's still got all his utility available to him. August might actually just wander a little bit too close to that hatch, and maybe a free frag might come out for Nate. He's just waiting for the rest of his team to get in position right now, and he's done well to push in and secure the security room downstairs. And lucky for him, of course, that is available and open to him. But Geo's gonna be rotating upstairs. Maybe they will hear him, maybe they won't, but Ravenous finally picking up the opening kill onto Campo.
And that is the person who was doing a fair few opening frags as well for PC419. So that is a very good start all in all. And BC continuing his run. This time it will be Papa who will be falling down.
Okay.
Leaving it only to 3 versus 5. And for those who also wondered, us talking about Geo, this is not Geo who used to be part of August. This is a whole different person.
We're talking about it's GF Geo. It's a different person. Yeah. The girlfriend of Geo. Maybe the person that could have been. Oh, no. Seems like it. Anyway, whatever it is, Sealy picks up another frag kill for his team. The analyst is doing too much work right now. They're gonna increase this man's salary. He's definitely being underpaid. Nate rotating, but you know what? Sealy's got his back for a second as well, and they now know Boats is downstairs. Hopefully, they know Boats is downstairs. He's still got two of the signal disruptors, the Overlords, and a Nitrocell. So with the right timing and some callouts from his team, he should be able to deny anything. Breaching ground goes out, opens a little bit more of the wall, but Noob is upstairs holding the vertical play. Might be able to pick up one through the railing here, but no, he does. Oh, there we go. Finally, BC gets taken out, and his double kills. Reign of Terror actually gets ended right there and then. So he's gonna hold the angle, and maybe they might just get this flank and this plant down. Evil Eye just kind of chilling right now. I'm not sure why they haven't dealt with it right now. I would have taken it out a long time ago. But there we go. Noob going to get that plant down. Boats waiting for the right time to move in and maybe pick up a couple of these frags. 2-2 right now. The plan is successful. It has gone down. August is pushing in quite slowly. They've got the evil eye providing all that information and should be able to pre-fire it right now. But no, what is happening? Noob picks up 2 kills to seal the deal. End the round, making the rest of them look like complete scrubs. They had the evil eye, but no one was no one reading? Was no one watching? The cameras? The thing wasn't even
no one was really watching, just
watching him, you know?
No, nobody was watching that very particular evil eye camera, because the reason why he didn't destroy it is, one, he didn't really want to reveal his position at that current time, the Ash player, and then, well, nobody was watching it, so really just ultimately you just had to hold the angle. The moment that would have been watched, there was already a breach charge ready to destroy it, so really there was no need to really use up that utility just yet.
I mean, that was smart from him, but Downfall, come on, someone dead. There are 3 members dead at that point. Someone's got to be scrolling through them cameras, you know. I bet you someone was actually just not on cameras and just watching a first-person perspective, backseat driving that whole thing. That's not what you need to do in that situation. You need as much intel as possible so these guys can make an educated guess. If he pre-fired that angle, that thermite would have gone down, not got the double kill, and at best, Nate with that Ash would have just maybe got 1 refrag. That's about it.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion, at least. But well played by PC419 actually being so, especially Nate, for being so trigger disciplined not to destroy the utility that he doesn't need to, and not revealing his position even though he thought he had the kill. Like you said, he didn't have to, they didn't know. And you know what, he played that role so well. And let's not forget about Sealy. The man is now on the Elder Cthulhu. This man is going to be unstoppable. You know, I spoke to Magnet on the weekend, and we asked him, all of us asked him, Magnet, how do you play Maestro so well? And he said, you know what, you just take your mouse and you press left click. And then you just hold it. And you just unload 80-something rounds into someone's body, and you will probably win. And you know what, that's probably what's going to happen.
That's a very good insight. Thank you very much, Ian.
I'm just saying, man.
Usage of the Alder.
I'm just saying, man. Some people just don't realize, you know. Hold left click. Oh, there we go. Bo's actually going to go for this kill. Dropping down 1 more. Pre-fires the right angle, but doesn't get the kill. Leans out. Maybe goes back in with the pistol. The USG may or may not get this, but oh my gosh, he running. Oh lord, he running.
Oh lord, he running indeed, as so far Ash is being a little bit hyperactive and will be paying up with her HP for a little bit. But as it stands, Boats is also, well, pardon, not Boats, that will be the Jaeger of PC419, who will be Nate. He's tagged up quite substantially and will be forced to fall back. So as it stands, already half a round already been drained up. Not a single frag from either of the sides, but plenty of ground to be still yet taken by Downfall.
Yeah, so Boats is super low right now, but it's not like he's out of the game. Nate is roughly about the same, a little bit more, but he's just as killable at this point. Sealy is still quite healthy, and BC's got quite an interesting angle down into the site itself. It doesn't manage to pick up the, he doesn't. Okay, he picks up the down, and then Geo cleans up with the kill. Good teamwork to secure that one. A whole bunch of utility being dumped right now, and Noob actually has to pull back just a little bit to put himself in a safer position. But now I feel like too many of PC419 are stacked up on that site.
What is quite refreshing to me is the fact that Thatcher is finally not banned on Bank within the LPL Challenger League.
Finally!
As prior to it, we did see a fair few bans like that, and so Pulse was actually getting some free reign, but this time this is not the case. Sealy is the one to crack things open with the Alder finally, as you were mentioning before, and having that long angle is definitely helping right now PC419 and defending the push. With 30 seconds left to go already, the gas grenades are coming out, so in hopes of trying to deny the entry even more. Another Nitro Cell to be whipped out and thrown over, but only will be able to down, but that is potentially just enough to slow things down for Downfall. Geo was the one to kick things off
Oh
onto
no!
Celia as well as BC onto Nate, but the trade from Papa to come out. 1v3 left to go, all up to Campo to try to bring this back, but ultimately it would be boats to close things down as Downfall scoring a second round for themselves, only one with them being only one round away from being forced into a match point against 419.
That was hectic in the last few seconds there. Sealy getting taken down from that position was unfortunate. He took quite a lot of damage. I felt like he held the angle for a little bit too long. And definitely what really went wrong for them, in my perspective, at least for what we saw, was that the smoke and the C4 were thrown at the same time, not overlapped or timed out for one another. And I think that's what led them to such a weak defense in the end, because they lost too much utility. Yeah, they didn't have the smoke to deny the entry, and they also threw out the C4, and to them it's like, you know what, we looked at their operators, they don't have any more C4s, let's just go in, let's just do it right now. And they just pushed in, they got those kills, and they didn't have that intel security anymore. You know, they didn't have the scare factor that if we went for this push, if we went for this plant, or whatever they decided to do at that point, whether it be different or not, that they wouldn't have that defense available to them, and we could probably make a riskier play here. So, in my opinion, personally, I felt like a bit of miscommunication there, most likely. And now that we're seeing PC41 actually go up to the CEO, we might see something a little bit different come out. Maybe a simpler setup come through, and definitely we're seeing something slightly different already. Opening up the wall and actually using the shield by the couch, by a single wall by the couch there, along with a deployable shield by the bomb. So Nate already picking up kill on the Ravenous is depressing, because man, that's the fear of the board. That's one of your main fraggers.
Yeah, and just like that, it is a flex from PC419 showing that they can go for the aggressive plays. That run out was particularly well made. And yeah, like you said, leaving the attacking team without Zafir is definitely going to hinder their soft breaching potential, albeit that they still do have Ash for those purposes, and with only 2 breaching rounds, really. But it definitely going to put them at a deficit. I do like their positioning, as this does feel to me like a throwback to the previous season of Pro League. Nice shot, though, from Papa to close things out onto BC. There's the run out. There's the kill. Nate is the one to claim another kill for himself, putting it in us into a 5v2. Make it 5v1, really, as Nate just keeps on going and going, because the balls of that man just keep hanging.
Hey, keep hanging it. He dangling a flawless round for PC420. And we go round 8 going to them, and man, Downfall did not have a good round. They barely got into that building. They didn't even get to that building. I think the one operator in the lobby got through maybe the ATMs, and then Valkyrie with the intel, right? Someone pulled up the intel on those cameras. That black guy saw him a mile away. Valkyrie just pulled up, put some putt shots, put some pre-fire down, and he just did not get through the ATMs. Card declined, sorry. Gonna have to renew your credit card. Smoke coming back onto the board here for PC419. A setup so far that has worked so well for them. 6-2 match point now. Most likely going to go in the way of PC419 unless Downfall really pull it together. I feel like they're not really focusing here, and I think that PC419 they're just having too much of an easy time.
Yeah, well, it certainly looks like a stark difference right now around here between the PC419 and the Downfall, as certainly either the break between the ESL Challenger League and the LPL Challenger League seem to have damaged a little bit on the performance of Downfall, really, as from at least my memory, they were playing a much bigger set of teams, and they were able to perform quite well on a fair few of them. But this is, unfortunately, definitely not their game, maybe not their map in that regard. Just all in all, it definitely seems that PC419 are just always one step ahead on most of those rounds, and Downfall really don't have any answer. They can't seem to really do any dynamic adjustments around here. So hopefully we will be seeing a different case on the secondary map. But as it stands right now, odds are heavily into PC419's favor. As much as I hate saying that.
Well, you know what? Get used to it. You may have to say it the next map over as well. Some interesting cameras coming out from Noob. The simplest and yet probably going to be fairly effective as well. Flashbang's going to go down. Won't really affect the black eyes, but they might actually catch something. There we go. Maybe hear a little bit by the footsteps right now. Nate actually holding a pretty cheeky angle here. Don't think he'll catch anyone anytime soon, but definitely something to keep note of for the future. 1 minute already down off the clock, and it doesn't look like Downfall have an idea of how they're going to push in onto these sites and try to execute their plan. Maybe they are still droning, but I'm not sure what their actual plan of attack is, although they have made a fairly easy rotation over into server so far.
Hey, it's interesting to me that Geo tries to go in for the bait, but it is Zafir that will be getting rid of it. And interestingly enough, Downfall are already here, just about under half a round appeared, and already the breaches are starting to come out. This time a thermite charge will be used to assist BC to try to get rid of the hatches, but
oh no!
That's unfortunate
Not
for
like
BC.
this.
Can't yet open them up. Finally does open, and second thermite charge will be cracking open, so full usage of it will be in effect, and Geo will be actually peeking a nice long angle onto Sealy, so that is the Maestro off the board, and that should be able to net them the kills. But as it stands, really, it is boats to take out Nate. It is a 3v5 situation.
No, like
Things
this.
are getting much and much better. Geo will be the one to out Noob, and it is all up to Papa and Campo to bring things back, really.
Well, Papa and Campo are pretty nutty players, and there we go. Campo already picking up one more kill along with Papa, and quite swiftly as well. So most of the members of Downfall are upstairs. Got that hatch control, most likely going to be able to mitigate it. Papa still has 3 stim pistols, should be able to heal himself back up into full health and maybe a little bit of a surplus. But right now, they have to clear up that top side so they can get that diffuser down. A couple of shots come out from the small office over by the loans. It does look like Campo clears up one from the stairwell. Maybe pushing up again. Oh, he picks up another. August picks up Papa. And it does look like he might be able to get this diffuser down. One drops from behind, and BC should be able to deny it. Downfall pick up round 9, but only by a small breath of hair.
Yeah, very close win. But nonetheless, it is still finally a good performance from Downfall. They did manage to get a very strong presence in the servers and managed to bait out all the needed utility at the right time. So massive props to them, as they are now bringing it slowly back. But can they bring it back another 3 rounds to push it into overtime, though? That would be the biggest question for them right now. Whereas on the side of PC419, they're only a single round away. They need to defend one side to make it really, really confident, and after that they can go on to the second map.
Honestly, I feel like Downfall, they did a decent job there. They had a good understanding of the map, the plan, and they executed it well. They obviously did their recon that they didn't do in the previous maps, not as well at least. And when they came through, they executed it well. They got a couple of free kills. I feel like PC419 kind of gave some of those kills away. I don't want to have to say it, but I really do think that was the case. At the same time, Campo went absolutely bonkers. The guy went absolutely nuts. Went upstairs with the shotgun and the SMG-11. Really cleaned up a couple of those kills. Unfortunately, not able to really tidy up the last player. Obviously, BC with the Maverick was able to just come down, clean up shop, and then seal the deal for the 3rd round, going towards Downfall so far. So, like you said, still match point. It is possible that Downfall pull it through, but I'm most likely going to be seeing a 7-3 here, or at least a win towards PC419 at the rate it's going.
Well, we might be just seeing that sometime soon, as this could be the last round of Bang. But to kick things off, this will be the Tellers and Archives defense from PC419. They're yet another site to try to defend after a unsuccessful set. Well, pardon, one unsuccessful side defense, which was the Alokas and CCTV. And I do have to admit, I do like the fact that PC419 are switching things around, whereas on the side of DF, they do seem to be also finally just changing things up, bringing in a Buck this time for the plays rather than a Thatcher,
Ooh.
which should be quite good, as right now one of the roaming defenders can be in a whole lot of trouble, albeit he is the one who is hiding, I believe, was hiding behind the shelves. And
How?
a nice pre-fire by Noob at the end, just around the corner, will be able to get him the kill. But
Oh, the patience. The man might pick up a second one here. He pre-fires all the walls right now. None of these walls stand a chance, but you know what? He doesn't either. Ravenous cleans up that one, but it was a refrag after all, and it does look like Papa is most likely to go down as well. Bolts takes him up and cleans up shop there. So 3-3 right now with 1 minute 30 seconds left on match point. It could go either way at this in this current instance, but downfall on the attack. I feel like they still have a decent chance coming through, although looking at the setup and the operators left available for PC419, we're looking at a Legion and a Mozzie. So that's the intel available to them in many forums, and we've got Nate, who's been an absolute monster so far on that Jaeger, on any operator in fact, and he's just waiting patiently over by the elevators for the time for himself and his team to rise to victory.
If you do take a look at the positioning of the three defenders, they all position themselves all very well at the entry points. You have Mozzie watching over the hatch and the second floor, or there's one on side and one just outside of the elevators to cut off any rotation. So this right now, boats could potentially get into a whole lot of trouble, but it will be Campbell to kick things off. There's the Nate's position as well, so it is all left up to Ravenous against the three members of PC419, and that positioning worked out very well.
So absolutely coming down to exactly what you said, this positioning and the crossfires on all different sites at all these different locations definitely added up, and it does look like Ravenous doesn't have an idea that Nate's right behind him, but there we go. There goes the first half, the first map, Bank going towards PC419, 7-3 in a very convincing match with only a couple of slip-ups leading to a couple of rounds going towards downfall.
Indeed, and we do get to see also a very nice Valkyrie Elite animation. But to talk things about the Bank, it was, for the most rounds, it was a stark difference between the performance of the two teams, albeit that looking at the Downfall's score, it is all pretty well stacked, apart from Ravenous and August. The two players, unfortunately, were not able to perform, and that is really the difference within, at least score-wise. Just due to the fact that ultimately those two players were unable to really perform well on Bank. And just a few times the positioning issues were quite evident on the defense of Downfall. So on that part, props to PC419 to be able to read into those plays and just play it out.
Yeah, so we are going to be going to Cafe next, boys and girls. It is going to be an interesting map. Me and Cthulhu are looking forward to it very much so. It's just such a fun map to cast. It just really is. It just plays so differently, and I hope we see PC419 bring out something very different for us. You know, they do come up with those tech tips. I want to see some cafe tips for once. But until then, we are going to be going to a 5-minute break. Boys and girls, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages. Sorry, I actually don't mean it. I don't mean that at all. There are no messages. It's just a 5-minute break. We'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. And we're back, boys and girls. You know what? It's time for our next map. It hasn't been very long at all. We had a very short break. Cafe Dostoevsky. Am I saying that right, Cthulhu?
You missed the S.
Dostoevsky. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
There we go. And now that we have our favorite Pro League map, yes, we are going to be probably seeing another PC419 win if Downfall don't get it together.
Yeah, well, with the Cafe, I certainly think that Downfall would really have the advantage here, just due to the fact that Cafe is one of those maps, like we were talking for a fair while, is still one of those maps that is not been fully yet, has not yet unlocked its full potential, really. And I do think that Downfall could have the element of surprise here, comparative to how well PC419 were playing on Bank. So I'm curious to see how will the ban phase will go down here, with Hibana to go down first. So
that's interesting.
So that's the remote, essentially the remote hard breaching, all done. And yeah, that's also a good point that our observer unit made, is the fact that they do have their analyst with them, PC419, so they could potentially bring out a couple of new strats for some of the plays. But
yeah, they could. But we're seeing the same attacker bans coming through for both sides here. So Hibana and Monty, just operators you don't want to have to deal with. Monty, I understand in almost every case, especially if you know the enemy has a Monty main.
I would disagree in the context of this map, really.
Yeah,
because Monty isn't really one of those crucial operators, especially for a fair few sites on Cafe.
You know why, especially? Because there aren't any choke points. Where there's one angle, I mean, like Whitehall, sure. You know, upstairs, maybe prep room. But these are very circumstantial that you don't have a flank on these guys. You know? It's not like we're playing over on border or, you know, like on bank as well, where you've got like every other angle cut off and you only have one entrance in order to flank this guy, and there's probably someone holding it. But there we go. He's gonna be banned out. We won't be seeing our French Mountain anytime soon. Gio's gonna be on that buck, boats on that line. Gridlock coming in this time with Dokkaebi. Okay.
So this, to me, it signals the fact that Downfall are planning to heavily deny ground from Downfall, really, because Dokkaebi Lion, well, that's a very famous combo that a whole lot of ranked players even would be quite scared of. Gridlock has seen quite a interesting actually usage both in CL and PL, just due to the fact that her utility can be used as a passive flank denial, as well as that amidst all the firefights, you could just chuck in that track stinger trap for it to start spreading out right around where you think could be the defender at, and you deny him some peeking ground until he decides to shoot. And at that point, you could go in easily for the peek the moment his attention is gone from that angle.
Yeah, you know what as well, though? I mean, like, you saying even ranked players would be scared, but honestly, I think ranked players are just, they're fearless, dude. You know, ranked stars, they fear no man, okay? They fear no god either, you know, just run in, Ash main, rush up, no one really cares. But these guys know that they have to play safe. They have the league on the line, and right now, Downfall have nothing to lose. They're at the bottom, essentially, and bringing in the Dokkaebi and the Lion, they're trying to secure themselves a win for the night. They need this map here in order to pull themselves a little bit higher so they're not at the bottom seed for this entire league. The C75 being picked up from the Dokkaebi, though, the more stable and probably the safer choice in regards to both the machine pistols and the SMG. I feel that the SMG kills faster, but the machine pistol definitely locks on like crazy.
Yeah, the CZ is definitely a much stable choice. Not the most popular one, especially within the competitive scene, but it's certainly still a weapon that not a whole lot of people, well, a whole lot of people, sorry, are frowning upon and really are missing out. So it's definitely nice to see a change. Ravenous, though, with a F90 will be pushing up from above. So far DF are doing a pretty nice, very organized push, top down, clear out. Make sure you don't have any roamers, and only then you go for the push, knowing that the defenders are only playing a single floor.
Yeah, so the Maestro Cam actually being used to just pick up a little bit of intel. Doesn't realize that a couple of drones had gone past. Could have denied a little bit more, but has chosen to just keep his drone a little safe. Maybe just in case someone peeks the evil eye and tries to take it out. Ravenous picks up Nate, and there goes your Jaeger. First roamer off the board. BC is going to be doing a little bit more droning. I probably will pick up that there's an evil eye around the corner sooner than later. While Boats actually pushes through as well. Maybe able to pick up this one kill over inside. Oh, sees the foot. There we go. Campo picks up 1 and 0. Noob refrags the other with the M870. All right. A shotgun and a weapon we don't see get picked up too often in Pro League. Actually used recently by Penku over in Rally.
Yeah, the M870 is one of those really fun weapons, as well as a very powerful one in close range. But unfortunately, for Noob, he won't be able to notice the Zofia push and will be going down to the M762. So that leaves only 2 defenders to defend against a onslaught of 4 attackers. And really, with their current setup, there's not a whole lot of ground that they can really cover. Apart from that, breach in the hole, which was used for the rotation hole, and the main entrance into the kitchen. So as it stands, Papa and Noob are just about to get pressured, but with the time already about to run out, they might be able to deny just enough time with that time. But just as it stands, Downfall just collapsed and managed to take it pretty seriously.
Yeah, I mean, Sealy really showing his analyst pants there, missing the drone 3 times over. Finally picked it up in the end, but unfortunately reveals his position, and of course the drone relays enough information by that time. So, Downfall pick up a very interesting win. Very convincing, very well performed as well. Good refrag coming out, a lot of intel. I feel like PC419 didn't use that Maestro camera to the best of its potential, and then on top of that, they didn't utilize the intel provided or gathered to the best of its potential either. We saw that was very different over on Bank. Maybe not used to Cafe. I'm not sure if they've actually rehearsed or dry run Cafe or if they scrimmed it. But Cafe is one of those maps where the players need to experiment live. And a lot of teams still don't touch Cafe. You know, it's still a map where they just like, no, you know what, we're still not used to it in a ranked setting. I'm not gonna touch it till I am. And I feel like that's a fallacy. I think that's a big mistake. You know, you have to go into customs and dry run these maps and really get used to these strategies that get used. Papa's gonna be putting an interesting evil eye over down in that corner though, because they've opened up the footing along that wall as well. So what that's gonna do for the team is actually reveal to them who's inside that site, try to open up the freezer. And that evil eye is going to be able to shoot any exothermics that go on that wall, or maybe even any would have been X-Kairos charges, but that's obviously not the case. It's going to be just the exothermic.
Yeah, it could certainly work out, but that is if PC419 will be able to time their utility usage quite well. From what we saw in the first round, that was certainly not the case, as the aggression that Downfall actually managed to show was certainly something that they really needed. But the first line charge to come out really without any ability to really emphasize of it did not really bring anything to Downfall's table. But with one more logic bomb left, they might be able to coordinate it pretty well enough. But with Nate taking care of Boats, this will be the line off the board. So the roam clear will be now, well, at least utility-wise, will be left upon the Dokubi's single logic bomb.
So they got to time that really well. They got to bring that in and make sure they actually use it to the best of its abilities. The site is upstairs, but like you said, the roam clear is done and they've done their job. Unfortunately, losing their line as well. He still had a couple of E1Ds available to my recollection. But like you said, that last single logic bomb, of course, is going to be really crucial right now and trying to figure something out. A lot of pings coming down and being like, hey, you know what? There's an evil eye over here. There we go. Noob as well picks up a kill into Ravenous, and there goes your thick lock, and she's out of the board. New picks up another kill, double kill for himself onto August as well. And now that your thermite's off the board, it does look like they're gonna have to push in hard and try to pick up these kills. Gio's making quick work of these guys though. Very different performance so far from where he's been. Triple kill coming out for Noob. BC goes down. It does look like Gio's all by himself. He's gonna have to push all aggressively, all by himself. And he may just pick up a couple of more kills. Sees the goo mine in front of him. Takes out the ancient Chinese poison with the M76 and knows where the Elder is. Tries to pre-fire it. Moves right past. Weaves right through. Checks a 6. And you know what? He may just get this kill on the onto the Maestro. Doesn't realize exactly where he is, but he's got the Bailiff. He's drawn the Bailiff instead of the Elder. He's expecting a really close push, opening up that wall there, making sure that he's not too safe for too long. And while Zofia is going to play very safely, he sees the last man, and he may just get a close kill. And oh my gosh, not like this. Papa with the Bailiff cleans up Gio and memes on him with a bit of a laugh. And it's good to see that they're able to still have a bit of a joke.
A few people do frown upon the usage of Bailiff for anything other than the destruction and opening up a couple of holes, but really it's still a very viable option in case things get ugly and up close and personal, because for me personally, I'd much rather try to go for a Bailiff rather than try to use the Aldo with an ACOG when it gets less than 5 meters away from you, really. And the ability to spam the Bailiff is certainly something that people shouldn't really not forget. But with actually, I do want to also raise a point that
it's actually a shotgun.
It's still it's still a shotgun, so anything past 5 meters you won't really be able to do any damage. But with the upcoming update that will be coming in with the Ember Rise, the destructive capabilities of the revolvers are actually going to be raised soon as well to match with the Desert Eagle of Valkyrie, Nook, and Blackbeard. So I'm actually quite curious to see whether we'll be seeing way more usage of the rhinos that are coming in with Alibi and Maestro, since those will be able to open up pretty much the similar amount of holes, really.
And maybe even the revolvers with the French operators, yeah. So
maybe even the revolvers, with French ops, it's one more reason to use them, really. But at the end, it will be, though, coming down to the preference as to how do you plan to use it. But nonetheless,
it doesn't actually provide you that rotation that you would try to make with it. It just kind of creates line of sight, really. So it's exactly going to be more along the lines of the actual Deagle, not the Bailiff, and that's along with the damage and the destructibility. So I like the Bailiff. The Bailiff will still be that amazing secondary shotgun pistol that will just make rotations for you all day long. Open up your hatches, easy peasy. But your revolvers are going to be strictly for creating line of sight, placing cameras, and maybe a couple of gadgetry here and there, yeah? So, speaking about placing cameras and gadgetry, it does look like they are going to be trying to drone this out. Got a couple of shots coming through here. Gio's got a little bit of information of maybe one operator over by the pillars and what we call now hell. And a couple of pings go out down there. It does look like, I think Seely's down, unfortunately. They don't realize that he is, but a couple of footprints will not be scanned as no one's actually gone upstairs so far. They may just be able to get this, but Papa's waiting for the right time to move over to Seely and try to pick up his mans. Nate try to cover him. This looks like a very large operation where all these players are trying to come get their mans. There we go. Campo picks up a nice kill into BC. That might be the opening they require in order to go pick up this guy and try to save his life. There we oh, nope. There we go. Nate gets taken out there, and it does look like Seely gets picked up, but now that they have to pull back a little bit, they are down the Valkyrie.
Yeah, with the Valkyrie off the board, it's not that much of a loss, really, but they definitely need, PC419 need to start scraping some of the kills away, really. As losing utility from Valkyrie is not that really mattering at the moment, but the remaining of the defenders should be able to just delay just enough. With a minute left to go, attack seems to be much more healthy, and Campo's position has been completely missed. So he would remain with the element of surprise for himself. So Noob will be the one to pick up a kill onto Geo, and so just like that, it
Ooh.
is a 3 versus 4.
Yeah, so a couple of C4s, by the look of it, actually went out there. Paul's not able to land one just yet. Sealy's still up, so goo mines are still being manufactured and put out onto those floors, making it harder for the attackers to come through. But there we go. Campo rotates up, picks up another kill. Campo and Noob taking out frags for themselves, and Boats is all alone trying to fend against all these members. And oh, very nice kill on the Noob. Rotates over by the 90 hall, over just near the reading room, and he's waiting for the right time to push in. 1 to 2 right now. Sealy's low. He takes him out real quick. The cameras are on him. He should be able to pick up this diffuser and maybe get the plant down. But no, he decides to go the long way around. This guy didn't have to go all the way around. He could have just he could have just got that diffuser and got the plant down. Does look like the diffuser will not be planted, and PC419 pick up round 3 due to a little indecision.
Yeah, he only needed one more second to go for the plan, but even then, he really didn't have a whole lot of choices, because otherwise, Pulse drops down, just runs up on him, and that's it. That will be still the end of the round in favor of the defense, as PC419 once again are back into the lead, but this time, already Downfall did manage to get themselves a round on the first round of Cafe, so right now, really not that much of a lead, but if PC419 will continue scraping away at those very small details, then we'll be seeing potentially a similar result, really.
Potentially, we're seeing the Alibi come out this time, and maybe a little bit of a more aggressive roam, trying to control a perimeter, maybe bring some intel back on site to where the enemies might be. PC419 really like to play that intel game, and this might actually work out for them quite well. Nate's going to be using the bailiff himself to try to open a little bit more line of sight. Most likely trying to hold it from the white stairs around the, what we call 2.5.
Do we call it 2.5?
Yeah, some of us do, at least. So when we say 0.5, guys, it's like second floor, the little landing in between the two floors, between 2 and 3, that's 0.5. So it's 1.5, 2.5, 3 point, and then 3. There's never really a 3.5. No, we don't have a 4-story building.
Yeah. Well, as we do finalize on the prep phase, we will be seeing Downfall continue their attempts at getting the attack sorted. We are at the half point of the first half for the secondary map. And with BC returning onto Dokkaebi, quite curious to see how will Downfall play this out, since they did switch it around. Instead of bringing a Lion, they are bringing in a much more flexible, I'd say, utility, being Jackal. And just like that already, Geo will be the one to punish Papa that was attempting to go for a peek, and that is Mozzie off the board. So yes, your pests still will be able to deny some of the drone work, but ultimately really no more droning.
No more droning, and it does look like Geo won't really need it. Well, he's gonna need it actually, but he won't be able to do any of it right now as he pushes up top. Logic bomb, 1 left back in the back pocket of BC, along with 2 smoke grenades. So should be able to cover a lot of information and maybe bring in a little bit more as well. But holding that line of sight with the C75 auto at a range like that, that sounds perfect to me, my friend.
Indeed it does. Geo, not wanting really to lose his drone to a pest, will be attempting to go for a much more flexible push around, whereas Nate will be the one to be taking out the Thermite, and that is the only hard breach that will be brought over by Downfall, gone and out. So right now, PC419 are bringing this back. BC to be gone as well, so only have to Jackal to do some roam clearing and potentially attempting to force couple of players, and even then Downfall did not really complete their roam clear, and things are starting to look all grim for the attack once again.
Yeah, so Noob's just right here trying to poke out one more player over by the red stairs. Notices that the wall is open and he's gone through a rotation. Turns his back to him, and it does look like they've just rotated away from each other. Sees a lot of destruction coming out, and he's waiting for the right opportunity to use that aggression and that rotation that he's provided for himself. But right now, Pulse is putting in a really precarious position, because he's not only exposed, he's also in a prime position in order to flank a lot of these guys pushing down the white stairs. But he calls for backup. Noob actually rotates down. It does look like Boats actually has a couple of pings going off. Not exactly sure on who, but they're certainly trying to get something going for the rest of the team as they push up around the 90, around the pillar room. They are going to be trying to take control over this side here, over by the reading. And Geo picks up another kill onto Campo. So there we go, a double for him. And while Geo tries to hold down the white stairs, he whiffs the shot on the head. He holds the angle as long as he can, but Boats picks up another Sealy. But they need to get the diffuser down. There we go, Noob picks up a kill onto Geo, and the diffuser goes down by Ravenous. But there we go, Nate cleans up the triple. It's a 1-to-1 situation right now, and Nate cleans up clean. All right, on to Ravenous. And puts him right away along there, along with the Prismas, actually, providing a little bit of cover for him.
Indeed, a good turnaround for PC419s, albeit that they were getting close to potentially losing out the round, considering the fact that they were at a man disadvantage. But all in all, yeah, well done. Good rearrangement of the positions from PC419, whereas on the side of Downfall, they were that close to actually winning it. Unfortunately for their Jackal, he decided to go for a little bit of a too far of a push, overextending a little bit. And that essentially ended up costing him his life. Whereas instead, potentially could have just, either take a point up above or take point right at the doorway and be able to hold a couple angles, really. Especially, plus, including that as well, what they could have done is to bring over one more of the Gridlock track stingers and just cover up the area just close by to where they're going to plant, just to ensure that defenders would have to spend a couple extra seconds just to try to get rid of those track stingers. So, unfortunately, that was not the case, though, for Downfall's plan, and we will be seeing them at a 2-point deficit at the moment against PC419 on the second map.
Certainly pulling away now, and it does seem to be the trend based on what we saw last map. Similar setup coming up from both sides here, not really changing too much. Still sticking to the Dokkaebi. Seems to be what they want to have, and they're trying to make the strat really work. But maybe sometimes you have to sort of pull off what you're thinking is the best plan available for you, and actually try something very unorthodox in order to create something orthodox, or maybe discover a new effective way of performing something. However, of course, an official match like this is not exactly the place to be doing that. But BC on that Dokkaebi is something to really question, because we haven't seen Dokkaebi actually come into many Pro League matches, let alone high tier play. But yet again, here we see that she does have a lot of play, and she has a lot of use. Mute Campo reinforcing a little late, opening a little bit of line of sight over into the cigar lounge, but doesn't look like he has a little bit to spare with those reinforcements right now. Nate's already pushing in all the way to the new balcony underneath the new hatch. Boats tries to cover his back, but you know what? Instead of Boats, it was Ravenous taking out the noob.
Indeed, and with that marks the start of the push by Downfall. They are just funneling down through that hatch and already taking control of the top of the red stairs. They are just pushing in through very aggressively, and that is exactly what they needed right now. Just go for a very aggressive, very upfront and personal kind of push. And with that already, also they will be able to take control of the cigar lounge, I believe, which would give them just enough of their ground to push through, really.
I'm not exactly sure what the Maestro is actually looking at, but I think he's misled into thinking that's what he wants to be looking at. The Exothermic will not be challenged at all. There is no C4 downstairs anymore. Feels like he has to sort of trick it at this point, but I feel like Papa, with that line of sight, should be able to peek from heaven, but he's not using that to his advantage at all. Nate takes out and kills BC. Does look like he's holding it quite well down with the V309. And August cleans up Nate as well. So see Frag might come out. It's starting to look pretty interesting, but he has a lot of work ahead of him. It's quite low. Tracksters come out. Look like they'd stop it before it gets out of hand. And Papa's waiting for the right time to really clean up house on Ravenous here. Unsure of exactly whether or not he wants to do it.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
with that also marks the fact that Papa was able to hold a nice angle. Sealy was the one to be able to get it and get himself a down. But as it stands, really, it is all up to Campo once again. The EE1D to come out, and this time Campo will be forced to go for the push. He needs to get things going for himself, but he keeps on running into the track stingers. There's the nice shot onto August. The plant did go down, but it is a 2v1 situation. Picked up another one with the Ravenous. It is a 1v1 situation. Boats is the last man standing on full health. He does not have any more of the EE1Ds, but he still has a flashbang. Nice shot as well onto Boats. That is it for Downfall, and PC419 just clutched this out literally out of nowhere. Campo, the MVP of that round, will be able to get the defuse as well.
Campo is poggers, dude. Those SMG kills are on fire. That last one was actually a body shot, but he rode that recoil all the way to the guy's head, and you know what? It paid off. He got those kills. I think they really got caught off guard there. The ADS time for the SMG-11 is proving to be quite dangerous. Despite its increased recoil, people are just learning to control it, and you know what? We're not even on that new patch yet. You know, once that new patch rolls through and the recoil animation looks a little bit different because they've coded player perspectives now, we're going to see a SMG re-emergence. Not because the recoil patterns are different. The recoil patterns are exactly the same. It's just that the patterns, the recoil is misleading to make you think it's easier to control. And thus, if you think so, it thus becomes a reality. So, an interesting choice actually going to the mining because, like I said before, it's not a bad site, but reading is a better site. Maybe they just haven't had a strat for it just yet.
Maybe that will be the case, or maybe they are bringing some experimental strat over here. PC419, they are on the last round of the first half, and they are going in 4-1 scoreline so far. Potentially even looking at 5-1 scoreline, which they would definitely really want on that. But it certainly will be potentially a challenge, especially even after against Downfall, really, because Downfall showed a fair few times that they are able to just full-on rush in, funnel themselves in, and potentially get all the frags needed. But as it stands, Nate is the one potentially going in for the spawn peak with a deagle, but that's just to spook people off, and will be promptly returning back to the site.
Yeah, he's got to get back out of there. And honestly, it feels like PC419 want to end this as soon as possible. All of them are spawn peaking, and you know, I don't blame them. It is starting to drag on a little bit. I feel in a sense that the competitive level is just not there sometimes. Downfall will finally pick up a kill as I say that, and maybe they'll prove me wrong this map. Maybe we'll see that they go 1-1 this time around. But there we go. Don't forget, boys and girls, if PC419 win both these maps tonight, so that means if they win Cafe now here in the next 3 rounds, they get 3 points instead of 2, and Downfall gets 0. Well, we'll see how that turns out.
Indeed, as already the flashbangs are starting to fly in, Geo would be the one to be peeking into the cigar lounge, and as it stands, it will be Sealy who actually picks up a kill into BC to equal things up right now. Already half a round to be gone, and really the shots just keep on flying. Sealy just picks up another one. Papa opens up onto August, but Geo does manage to finally get the trade. Things are looking somewhat well for PC419, albeit that they are in a man advantage, not anymore. But minute 27, so right now this is the prime time for Downfall to just chill, to recollect themselves. They have time. They need to get the rounds going for themselves, otherwise they cannot afford any more of this aggression.
Yeah, so the C4 is out. They're just prepping. They prepped it. They primed it. They're waiting for the right opportunity to bring it in. And does look like a couple of shots do come up from the dining. Ravenous takes a little bit of damage, has 2 pings come up for him, but Sealy picks up 1 more. So it's just him all by himself across 2 different angles. It does look like Sealy's having a bit of a tough time. Probably loses this fight here, but there we go. Nate cleans that up before he claims the kill, saves him the KD, and PC419 win another round.
And just like that, we do see the first half to be closed out on 5-1 scoreline, which is certainly a bit of an alarming sign, especially if you're a Downfall fan and a player, considering the fact that really on the offense, you would have wanted to have at least 1-2 more rounds in your pocket before you switch over the sides. But nonetheless, they will be going on defense this time. Downfall potentially might have the ability to defend this, with Bar and Cocktail Lounge to be coming out as the first side for them to defend. They might have a couple of tricks down their sleeve potentially to bring this over. They will be bringing in a Legion. They will be swapping off Legion for Valkyrie, which just signals more about the fact
Yeah.
that they want more information, really.
Yeah, it's just one type of intel for another. And what I want to talk about though is the Blackbeard. We haven't seen Blackbeard. We haven't seen Blackbeard in a while. It's true. An operator that's still very strong, and I just feel like we need to see more of. Not because he's so strong, but because I feel like he gets underplayed in a lot of instances. However, I do have to admit that Blackbeard is an operator that just brings an unfair level of gunfight to the game, whether he's controlling a window upside down or right side up, or just taking the enemy head on, or maybe even from pixel angle. Blackbeard is exactly what an entry fragger wants to be half the time, except the fact that he's not a 3-speed. I mean, like, could you imagine 3-speed that dodges headshots? No way, man.
Yeah, well, Blackbeard is one of those that you usually bring over in case you're having issues holding a few angles. But he's definitely a very powerful operator to play with. But then I'm quite curious to see how will PC419 utilize him against Downfall. Whereas on the side of Downfall, everything seems to be nice and steady. They did bring a dog for some of the longer engagements, but Noob might be up to something very dirty in case he does manage to find a kill, but that won't be the case, so he will be rotating over. The remaining so far time will be potentially spent just at the continuous poking over at different push points, really, by PC419 to find that weak spot that Downfall could potentially have.
Yeah, so they are looking for this weak spot right now, and they're not exactly sure where. There's a little bit of droning still going on, and with 2 minutes on the clock, they still have a lot of time available to them, but they're trying to push. They're trying to get this default breach open all over onto the freezer. Ravenous over by the white stairs, of course, in the white hall. Quite usual, quite common for him to actually be in that spot. The 416C carbine is going to be proving to be quite valuable at that range. Obviously, no ACOG, but has the potential to. One pushes through into dining. It does look like maybe PC419 didn't really keep an eye out as closely as they thought they would with that one rover.
Certainly seems like it, as Papa will be the one to clean things up onto boats, and BC right now is just unfortunately being absolutely assaulted there. Ravenous to trade out onto Nade, as well as Noob will be the one to grab the kill onto Geo, leaving it is in a 4 versus 2. Things are not looking all well, and right now for Downfall, they just need to keep holding their angles. Ravenous being too aggressive on peeking the angles, definitely not what you want right now.
No, not at all, and it's honestly starting to get a little scanty. Not scanty, sorry, just a little tight. You know what I mean? So they've regrouped to back each other up in a closer angle. Oh, Ravenous takes out the shield, but there we go. Like I said, that shield wins you the gunfight because now August picks up another one for himself, and a double with the SMG, with the Elda, with the silencer. Not only do they not know exactly where he's shooting from, they just don't know how many bullets he's actually shooting at all. So a 1-to-1 situation, not a 1-to-2 situation now. August almost had it, but unfortunately Noob takes him out with a nice headshot clean to the dome. And PC419 pick up another round yet again on that attack. So quite clean so far. The attack coming along well. Refrags are all in abundance. And I feel like Downfall are spreading themselves a little too thin. They might need a little bit more backup. Because if you look at the way PC419 are pushing, they're always within refrag range of each other. But Downfall, they have the understanding of the control points they need to be locking down. But they're not backing each other up in instances where PC419 are.
Yeah, it's certainly just showing that Downfall seeming to be getting a little bit maybe impatient on some of the angles. Maybe they just wanting to get themselves going, and maybe it's a factor of potential tilt. We would never know for sure, but there's definitely a difference between how PC419 play and Downfall, and that is the patience of PC419 that shows pretty well in regards to just them being patient on the trigger discipline, them being patient on the flanks. Whereas on the side of Downfall, you see continuous peeking, continuous attempts to go for those frags, which you don't really need, considering the fact that you are on defense.
Yeah, so what we're seeing here as well is that Downfall are consistently reinforcing that wall in between the bar and cigar lounge. So what this does, I found through training my own team and also watching a lot of the Pro League matches that we have been seeing over in Cafe, is that if they leave that reinforced, it's sort of like fully reinforcing the blue tunnels on Clubhouse. Yep, you don't want to reinforce the whole thing, because then anyone inside blue tunnels just has a free breach opportunity to open up to create an opening for his team in a position that you don't want him to have open for himself, because then he can scope in and really minimize the range in which they have to fight and which they have to push. So you want to open that up a little bit more by leaving that wall soft. Maybe open up the footing like we did see PC41 did in the start. Put an evil eye in that room, maybe in the room over with a breach open available to it. However, what we are seeing is that Downfall aren't doing that. They're just fully reinforcing it. I'm not sure if they thought this one through, but they do actually think through a lot of these runouts by the look of it.
Certainly does look like it. And looking at the overall setup right now, this definitely does seem to have quite a few similarities to how PC419 were playing things out, but already with Blackbeard off the board, this is certainly a good start for Downfall's potential attempt at comeback here.
Oh no, not like this. Boats being picking up Papa. Yeah, fantastic shot, absolutely. The T5 is an absolutely nutty SMG. The UMP45 as well, not exactly the nuttiest, but oh, Nate with a nice shotgun kill onto Ravenous. So, using the skeleton key to the best of its abilities, will be picking up that kill, putting the team into a 3-4 situation. Actually leveling up the board just a little bit more. At least the thermite's still available, and they've got corners all over the top floor ready to be pinching. August, of course, in a very safe spot, doesn't have to worry too much, has the ADS still available to him, along with the deployable shield, so he just had to hold that pistol angle for a little bit longer.
Yeah, with Sealy already starting to utilize his fire arrows, things might get turned around pretty quickly. It is a 3v3 straight away, and Vigil holding an angle in the freezer might be able to help out the Maestro with the angles, but as it stands, nobody's watching the double door angle, and right now, if Capitao does manage to push through, that will be a fantastic flank, but as it stands, BC is now put in a bit more peculiar situation with the fact that August is now off the board, and it is up to one player that is currently on site and will be potentially burning up. There it is, there's the shot by Noob, and it is all up to the Legion player. Boats needs to clutch this up. He is the last hope. Downfall. That is a nice knife as well, peeking out with a pistol. I'm not too sure if that's the brightest choice, but attempt at another knife. That won't be the case. PC419 to close things out. Both maps going in their favor, and they will be claiming full 3 points.
He almost had that knife as well. He was just a little off, a little short. Had the timing right, but unfortunately did not push at the right time. Fantastic game coming up from PC419. Really showing how strong they were. And Campo wasn't even at the top of the board. It was just Noob picking out and fragging out with 11 shots. Not so Noob this time by the look of it.
Certainly seems like it, as yeah, well played to PC419, and a very unfortunate turn of events for Downfall, as their losing streak just keeps on going, which is certainly quite
1-7 now.
Yeah, 1-7. And it's I'll be absolutely honest, it's quite unfortunate to see them going down like this, because they did show quite some promise before during the ESL Challenger League, and to see them just like that, unable to get any further than one round on Cafe, is certainly not what you would want to see, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to be going into our second matchup tonight. Not exactly. Do we have the maps for the second matchup?
Not that I know of just
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, maps, please, Bloodhound. So we are going to be going to our second matchup for the night. It is going to be, boys and girls, CryptiK. Yeah, we're going to be seeing Team CryptiK play off against Sleeper Gaming. So I spoke to the Sleeper boys over at MEO over the weekend. They were preparing very thoroughly for this game. Hopefully we see a promising matchup come up from them. The last time I saw them prep this much was when they were faced off Fnatic, and they almost had it. You know, they were doing much better than most other teams would against Fnatic. So they're definitely a team to be keeping an eye out later in this this night's last matchup over our last two maps. We'll tell you exactly what those maps are as soon as we come back from a little break. But don't go anywhere. Me and Cthulhu are waiting to get done with these games and bring you some amazing matchups between CryptiK and Sleeper. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after these messages. Boys and girls, we're back. Welcome back to the show. Sleeper Gaming versus Team CryptiK is up right now. We are getting on the way, and Cthulhu, what are your predictions? Because so far, CryptiK are proving to be exactly what we need to see in the coming Let's Play Live Challenger, the Let's Play Live Pro League that is to come once we gather enough of these Challenger winners.
Well, CryptiK is certainly a team that has been seeing quite a fair amount of success, albeit that not all the time it was the definitive win against some of the teams. But all in all, they did manage to prove themselves that they are an able team to bring things over to themselves. Whereas on the side of Sleepy Gaming, they've been kind of on and off. They have a very good all in all lineup, but similar to how PC419 is, they are one of the teams that is good on the fragging, but still are adjusting for the coordination and getting the chemistry done right. Whereas CryptiK already is one of the teams that has already settled things down pretty well, all in all, and I'd say that the favor is definitely tipped into the side of CryptiK, whereas on the Sleeper Gaming, I'd say probably the best case scenario here that they might be bringing out will be a 1-1 scoreline.
Okay, let's have a look at the leaderboard so far. 5-1 for CryptiK, Sleeper 3-3. Obviously not updated yet, by the way, with the last matchup between Downfall and PC419. So currently PC419 are at a 7-3 score and Downfall 1-7. So unfortunate for them, but we are, as we do look into these games, we do realize that Downfall are still at 3-3. So once they do this, it's gonna be I feel like it's gonna be like a. It could be, like you said, 1-1 at best. It's gonna be a long shot for them to take over CryptiK. Like you said, they are very experienced, and they've been around for a while. We know all these players, and it does look like everyone is climating to each other and actually getting on the way with sort of learning how to play with one another. And then we did see them struggle in the start, but we're definitely seeing them find their stride and actually come in a little bit stronger recently.
That is correct. But for the first map, we will be seeing Bank. That will be followed up by Clubhouse this time. So Bank is CryptiK's pick, whereas on the side of Clubhouse, it is, I believe, Sleeper's choice. So I'm quite curious to see how will this turn out, as Sleeper will be the one to ban out a banner on the first ban. So curious to see what will CryptiK respond with, as they aren't quite swift with their choice.
Yeah, it seems like a recurring theme so far. Removing. Oh my gosh, what is happening? That's interesting. Okay. So that's a CryptiK ban. They've banned IQ. So they're worried that their intel gets taken away from them. They want to probably use. Okay, just no intel at all.
Yeah, minimal.
You know what? If they don't ban Echo, I think they're gonna play right into their trap. Nope. You know, they're gonna play Echo. They're gonna play Echo. No one's gonna see what the drone is. It's gonna have free reign. That's all. That's all it's gonna be.
Probably the biggest oddity is the fact that it was CryptiK who banned out both Valkyrie and IQ, which is a bit odd to say at the very least, just due to the fact that if you ban out IQ, you have free reign with Valkyrie. Really, you have probably Twitch and Thatcher to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know, but it's two ways, right? Because I mean,
it is two ways.
Yeah, the defenders could use Valkyrie. They don't have to deal with all this intel. So, it's still odd. It's still very odd because, you normally want that intel available to you, and you normally want to be able to deny that intel. You know, because if they don't see your Valkyrie cameras, they don't see your Valkyrie cameras. But not being able to have it at all is very different. I'm expecting a 6 pick into Echo here. If they don't, they didn't. Okay. This is odd because they've got the advantage here to actually start off with an invisible operator and to deny a plant almost unimpededly. But they're not actually taking that opportunity. However, they are bringing around Maloska with the Mozzies. So there is intel still on the board available to them, as well as obviously the Maestro cameras, the Evil Eyes, and the Mute Jammers. So I feel like Sleeper is still using the bans to their advantage, but we'll have to see how it really pans out. Looking at CryptiK's attack formation so far with their composition and their team, Jam still got that. I mean, Jam's got the Zofia fine. Yeah, there's a consistent pick there. The Mavericks. So far, overall, pretty standard setup, and yet again, like you said, no Thatcher ban. So Thatcher being put on the board is going to be a pretty big deal. But Maloska's already got cameras, man. He's already got these drones setting up.
Certainly is, and that would definitely be able to leverage the firefight in their favor quite well. But CryptiK starting to make push. Jam is going in for the solo one. Nobody is in the stock, but he's being extra cautious about that. But apart from that, really, he knows that the hallway so far is somewhat clear apart from the janitor's closet. So right now, if CryptiK do manage to get the flank watch set up, that would be a perfect way to go about it, and then go for the breach. Really, Miloska downstairs could be the big thorn in the side of the offense, but that is not before he will fire around and reveal his position. So he will need to be extra cautious about him being droned out. Really.
Yeah. So Juicy's as well, rotating up the main stairs, coming from downstairs, and Sushi's just waiting for the right opportunity to actually get these breaches off. Just throwing a couple of flashbangs over just to maybe concuss, not concuss, just bother President right now. Doesn't have the right opportunity available. And he's probably going to go for the plant through the exothermic soon, waiting for the Thatcher. Right? President can't deny that. He's a bit too far away. Flashbangs denied him from that. Might be able to deny the second one though, but no, he's actually retreated far too far back, and won't be able to do anything about that now. The Overlord still got one in the back pocket there, just waiting for the right opportunity to put it down. Maybe just deny a little bit until halfway through the round and allow himself an easy rotation. But Josh is just sitting around the corner waiting for winning with the Maestro cameras on check. But Twent actually has a shotgun available and might actually get a push rank just from the flank here.
Yeah, and only with 30 seconds left to go, the first kill will be coming out from the side of Miloska, as well as Josh to clear things out. So CryptiK do manage to respond though with a single kill, and another one as well, those Sushi to pick up onto Juicy here. And with 15 seconds left to go, really not a whole lot of things left to do apart from you need to go for the push. There's the peek by the castle. There's the kill as well. They are going in for the kills, but 5 seconds or 4 seconds left to go. They need to get the plan down, and I don't think there will be any denial whatsoever. There it is, striking.
Oh my gosh. And
Josh. The C4 does go out, but to no avail. So Miloska will be now forced to go for that push and play in a 1v2 situation with the time running right up against him.
Yeah, he's got to push up, and he doesn't have much intel available other than maybe one person's over by this area here. Barbed wire will give him away, and maybe the one man prone might actually lose out this fight here. He stands up and he doesn't get the kill. Miloska goes on to JCZ in a very close matchup, 1-2, almost had it, but that C4 was just a little bit off mark.
Yeah, just a little bit, and just like that, CryptiK do manage to bring this back. I did find it quite interesting though that only up until 30-second mark, only then the kills started really rolling in. It definitely shows that, one, CryptiK were able to prep up their push very, very well without losing anyone in anyone's utility early on in the round. And two, it shows that SLG were a little bit too slow on some of the pushes, because I do think that there were a few openings available for Miloska at the very least to go for the push, get that frag from below, and then essentially play from that back line to enable some of the further pushes from the remainder of the squad. But at that stage, really, they prompted to fall back to CCTV and lockers, which is a decent idea considering the fact that CEO wasn't really the best performance from SLG's defense once the actual frag started rolling in. And bringing in a castle potentially might be signaling for an expansion either onto the open area or expansion around the site and maybe even above.
Fairly interesting so far. It does seem like to be the case. A very thorough setup, actually. Actually reinforcing the hatch upstairs and opening the hatch in the small office. Not sure what Sleeper are trying to go for here, but definitely seems like something they're planning and have already pre-stratted. So, yes.
And it's called heavy roam game. What they are planning to go for
Alright.
extensive as well, considering the fact that they are castling out the
Oh,
open
okay.
area, so they will have some presence above. The moment some heat will be starting to come out, rotate back down to the admin office. If admin office too hot, drop down to the CCTV, and that's how you go for very, very open and aggressive plan here. And this is exactly what Sleepy Gaming might be prompting in as well. Look at all of these reinforcements. Albeit that not a whole lot of walls are actually reinforced. Just the fact that they're still there and preventing the lines of sight for a short bit should be just enough to force Team CryptiK into a little bit of a disadvantage here.
I'm already a fan of this. It's definitely something we don't see very often. I'm glad that some teams are bringing out different strategies and trying new things that they might have stratted before, they might have already done in scrims, and that we're seeing Josh actually the only one close to site. Well, they're all technically close to site, but he's the only one actually on that actual floor, from what I can see at least. Jam will be pushing down the main stairs, probably maybe through the open area, maybe even. Actually, yeah, there we go. He opens up that barricade there, and Maloska is the one holding the angle just close to it. Josh may be pushing up the main stairs as a little bit of a distraction, but it does look like Maloska is getting collapsed upon if they don't already take him out. But oh, President actually cleans up the kill onto Jam. One more pushing through behind President. Oh, President with a double with the pistol. Doesn't clean up the third, but oh, he goes down and Sushi cleans up him. Maloska cleaning up Serum as well, and a flurry of kills have gone on, and Sleeper a 3-1. CryptiK getting taken by storm unexpectedly. 1 minute left in the clock, and it's really going to come down to a man, his sushi rolls, and 3 men from Sleeper Gaming fully woke right now, dude.
Yeah, Sleeper is certainly doing very well, and being able to trade things out that quickly is certainly a very good showcase. The gas grenades to come out to force things out, and nice flank from Maloska once again. We'll be securing him yet another one.
Gosh.
And fantastic performance from Sleepy Gaming, managing to read in onto that heavy aggression from Team CryptiK. And just like that, we do end up equaling things up 1-1 to be the scoreline. And so far, this seeming like Bank could go really either way.
Dude, Sleeper turning up big, man. That was impressive. We have not seen anything this bold for a while in the LPL Challenge League. We've seen fantastic fraggers. We've seen some great kill streaks, but no strategies planned out this well. Sleeper Gaming definitely turning out to be quite good in that respect. So definitely a lot of potential for this team. Obviously, not doing that great in the leaderboard so far, but definitely a team that's still finding their pace and definitely should be settling in with that quite soon from the look of it, right, Cthulhu?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we are looking at Sleeper now going upstairs again, second time around, maybe slightly different this time. Maloska's still on that Mozzie, while Twent is on that Smoke. So nothing too differently here. Juicy's back on that Maestro. Maybe he's setting up in a different spot this time, but hopefully something different coming out from Sleeper over on this round here. I'm hoping for a Sleeper win on this round, although I feel like CryptiK may just be able to pull this off one more time, but I think maybe Sleeper actually read into this and have the ability to actually work around this current predicament of theirs.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Yeah. Well, with action phase to kick things off, SLG to defend upstairs once again after a bit of an unfortunate turn of events. This time they are bringing in a similar setup to what they had during the downstairs hold, but having that open floor plan is certainly working out very well, especially for Moloska's roaming game, really. Whereas on the side of CryptiK, they need to be extra cautious about how they play things out. They do bring a Jackal, so this time they will be able to get way more intel on the positioning of the defenders.
Oof.
Whereas on the side of from Jam, really, he needs to be a bit more cautious about going for a solo push, because considering the fact that open area was very much open within a previous round, things might not go all well for him.
Yeah, so extra thermic looks like it's going to go down. President not in a space to actually deny that. Going to get popped, has to rotate into a safer position. And I'm surprised he wasn't prepared to deny that. Twent denies one by the sound of it. And it does look like Moloska is still rotating downstairs over by Tellers. No one's actually droned or decided to push him out just yet. He might be able to get a flank right onto JCZ here. But it's like Serum with the SMG-11 cleans up Twent. And there goes your smoke that early into the round. So won't be able to deny any of that entrance or any of that entry denial. All going to be granted at this point along now that he is out of the equation. So Serum still puts down quite a few shots down the hall. No one's taking any damage, but the wall gets popped in. Oh my gosh. SLG being picked apart one by one here, and honestly it's really coming down to the fact that they didn't deny entry anytime sooner. President picks up a nice kill onto Serum, and it does look like they kind of have to rotate around and try to flank them. And it's really going to come down to Josh to clean this up with the Elder. I haven't seen much action come from him just yet. But President, if he hangs out in his room, he should be able... Oh no, it's not Josh with the Elder. What am I talking about? Josh is on the Jaeger. He's got one in his sights. He's waiting for the right opportunity. Gives away his position. Blah, blah, blah. Gives away his position. But there we go. Josh picks up one, and he has to push up a little bit more aggressively, because right now he's the only one left. There we go. Team CryptiK win round 3 again, and SLG just not having fun on that top floor.
Certainly looks like it. As it seems that their initial idea was to have a setup for a late roam and late flank that could potentially would have thrown a spanner in the works of Team CryptiK. But as it stands, they've given away the entrance into the site very quickly and very easily. And Team CryptiK managed to fortify essentially their position and just be able to keep an eye out on the flanking pretty quickly. So it didn't really work out, but maybe we'll be seeing a separate idea of how they're going to defend on Teller's Office and Archives, where SLG will be defending next. So on the side of 6-pick, though, not that much of a change, albeit that Maestro is no more. They are bringing in a mute for this one, as well as bringing in a dog for the long-range engagements. So potentially we might be seeing, once again, the expansion onto the open area, considering the fact that they are bringing in a castle. But if not the open area, at the very least, this could be the expansion onto the admin office.
So I just hope they fix this, because right now it's a predicament, and I'll say it again. I think that they're not denying that breach attentively enough, because Josh, or President, was in the right position to impact trick that. Didn't do it. Smoke did it one time. Wasn't enough. And why does Smoke have impact grenades anyway? Should have barbed wire. And if they swapped it out, why didn't Castle have barbed wire, the impact?
Well, the impacts on Smoke just would allow some extra abilities to open up the rotation holes, just potentially due to the fact that Smoke is planned to be played in a bit of a more flexible manner, considering that he still has the SMG-11 that is quite...
I appreciate him with the smokes, but why is it him and not the castle impact tricking at that point? It should be both, right?
Maybe that's not what they've stratted for. You never know. But nonetheless, though, to get back to the current setup, it is Meloska to open up onto Serum, which is a good start because that is Thatcher off the board, which will force CryptiK to go for a bit more unconventional ways of getting rid of any electrical utility.
Yeah, so don't forget, guys, we're playing down by the tellers and archives right now. So top floor control is still very imperative, and they can't just abandon the first floor either, because if they do, it's a quick, easy plant, and it's just all about that retake. It worked for them the first time around; they got a really good round out of it. But now that Sushi's actually going to be taking upstairs with the exothermic, it is going to be a very different time for them. Although President is lying in wait with that shotgun right now.
Yeah, President has a very potent angle right now set up, albeit a bit more vulnerable if he gets drowned out. But if he does manage to catch a couple of attackers off guard, then he's definitely going to be in advantage here. The thermite charge already goes off, so there goes the entry into the CEO office.
Yeah.
And not a single soul is there for the flank yet.
Yeah, well, they finally see President. They might just wallbang him a little bit. Takes a little bit of damage. Rotates over. Has to drop maybe down the hatch from the sound of it. And they don't. I don't think they. Oh, President picks up a nice kill. Barely living through Striking's fire range. And unfortunately, the buck gets taken down too soon for themselves. And President gets away with half health. So Sushi's really dropping quite low. Josh picks up a kill onto Sushi. There we go. And Jam refrags onto Josh for his teammate there. And while they clear up top floor, it seems like maybe the vertical play can start to begin. Meloska's in a pretty interesting position though. Lone office over by the lobby with the dock waiting for that late ACOG flank.
It's either that or just to enable himself to have a long angle. That smoke grenade will just be the one to find the demise. And SLG managed to hold things very well, considering the fact that the early setup was predicting potential CryptiK win.
That was pretty interesting to see, actually. I didn't expect them to come through like that. Jam getting taken out by the smoke, and then the last Jackal player, JCZ, just rushing right through.
What was the initial issue is the fact that CryptiK lost at the very beginning the Thatcher, which kind of forced CryptiK to switch up around their playstyle a little bit, forcing them to play a bit more aggressive potentially, and maybe that was a potential miscalculation. Finally, the Echo to come out from SLG after 4 rounds that you were talking about. The Echo being brought on board, and this time he won't be 6th pick though. So Locker's CCTV room will be the choice.
Finally, a main site, a site that we can all understand. 2-2 is the scoreline right now, boys and girls, and we have an Echo finally, along with an Ella. So most likely going to go on those server stairs. I'd be surprised if she went anywhere else. And honestly, so far with President and his boys, it may very well be the case that Ella goes somewhere else. But it does look like actually Juicy's rotating over into server stairs anyway. So nothing too surprising there, I suppose, in that aspect. And it does look like Josh going to be playing the standard Meister strat from the garage. So I suppose they don't want to go with anything too wild or too crazy this time around. And I can respect that. You know, I can respect that they're going to go for something more standard.
What is interesting to me is, okay, so SLG are bringing in an Ella with a ballistic shield and a Scorpion. And usually you would see the shield to be placed perpendicular to that wall, to the east wall, so you would have some extra covering, something extra covering your body. But instead this time, there's no FO12, and the shield is an attempt to have a angle plus blocking out the doorway. So the moment Zofia will come in, that ballistic shield will be dealt with, and the moment the Thatcher will throw in the EMP grenades, that will be it there as well. So I honestly think that is a little bit of a miscalculation. There's the EMP grenade to get rid of the ADSs, there's the impact grenade, and that should force the Ella off her position, really.
No, Ella is still there.
Like it.
Yep, doesn't really care. So drone goes down, takes out the drone quite swiftly. Good job, great aim. Juicy with a juicy play. 1-3 right now. Impact grenades and still on the lifeline. This might get popped here. No, concussions. In fact, I thought she ran out of those. drone. A little bit of distraction. One more coming out. And oh my gosh, the spray is coming out. Has 50 bullets. Oh, picks up a kill. One goes prone. JCZ gets taken out. There's your Jackal. And oh, a second for Juicy. Maybe a third, but no. Serum puts an end to that. And as they push down into the server stairs, there's still one more behind the server stack waiting, lying in wait. So fantastic job by Juicy to delay as much as time as possible. 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. That's not much left if you consider their position. In addition to that, there's still one more man left in the server stack and one guarding the main entrance. So you're having quite a bit of a time trying to clear him out. There we go. Serum gets taken out by Maloska, and Maloska is having a field day. Doesn't really care about those drones sending pings up because he's going to try to win these gunfights nonetheless. And he dodges. Oh my gosh, Sushi whips a whole bunch of shots, but finally gets the kill onto Maloska. The headshot cleans that one up, and soon they'll get the wall as well. Striking has the top-down angle, and it might just be exactly what they need. The diffuser is just around the corner, and they might be able to pick up Kit, get that diffuser going, and unless they take out this yokai, it's game over. For this round, at least.
Certainly looks like it. They're not even expecting it. The president is gathering a fantastic amount of information. There's the gas grenades as well. But Sushi does manage to pick up a kill onto Josh, but I'm not too sure if they are knowledgeable about the fact that Echo is currently on a drone. They do hear the rotors of that quadcopter, and there's the Echo drone to come in, relaying heaps of information. It will be able to deny the plan to go in, as well as that. The Maverick needs to push in, but will be going down to the hands of Twin. There's the push from the Thermite, and to no avail. Unfortunately, he will be falling down to the hands of Twin as well. Sleeper Gaming to claim round number 5.
Well played by Sleeper. So definitely patient, played it smart. Juicy did a fantastic job holding down that service stairs with the Scorpion. Great headshots.
Yeah,
timing.
That trade on the service stairs was definitely not worth it and was very expensive for CryptiK. Trading out 2 roam clears essentially on the service stairs without even being clear on the servers themselves is a hefty loss, albeit that they were still at that point 3v5, so kind of salvageable. But the moment they lost another one on right at the entrance into the servers, that was pretty much it, really.
Yep.
2 to 3 though.
Wait,
2 to 3
on those server stairs, they lost the Jackal and they lost the Zofia, right?
Yes, that is correct.
That's correct. Yeah, and I mean, Zofia used all her utility on that staircase.
Yeah, and I was prophesizing that this will be the failure of the Ela as well, because usually the overall kind of meta and the playstyle suggests that you would have something of a close range that would definitely ensure that on close range you would have the upper hand no matter what. And the Evo was definitely not that choice, but the longer range engagement definitely worked out pretty well.
Well played by Juicy. We'll say it one more time. But now that we're going back upstairs into CEO again, third time's a charm, right? Third time's a charm. So maybe SLG will get it right this time.
Yeah, well, maybe not. We'll be seeing how will this unveil this time. Maybe it is a third time's the charm. To look at the overall lineup, they are bringing in a Capitao this time to potentially assist them in yet another successful take for the CEO. Or at least yet another attempt at the take of CEO. But nonetheless, Serum to drone things out, and no presence in the janitor's closet, which is kind of a bit interesting to me at the very least, because usually we would see SLG to bring that up, but JC to go down due to the fact that Juicy's holding a very long angle from the meeting room. And that is once again Jackal minused out very early into the round, and that is far from what you need right now, really.
Oh man. Okay, Josh picks up a nice kill into striking, and they're already pushing through this server. Oh, okay. Before I finish my words, Twin, chill out, bruh. SMG-11 prevailing again, turning out to be one of the best guns in the game so far, at least in this current meta, and soon to be the next as well. Serum with the reflex, pushing through on their last attack here. Thermite already controlling stock, so should be able to get maybe a little bit of a push down the main hall there. Fragmite surely gonna have the advantage here with those with that ACOG, but it's a 1-2 situation right now, and Serum and Serum and Fragmite are in a good position right now to coordinate with one another. No one's taking any damage just yet. A lot of yelling coming out from these operators though. Barbed wire will reveal their position, and a little bit of drone. No, there we go. I don't think they realized that that drone was definitely not theirs, and Josh cleans that up with the Jaeger. So, yeet. There we go.
Yeet McSkeet, send and delete will be the slogan for Sleeper's last round.
That was good. I like that. Say it more often, dude.
Will do. But round 7 will be signaling though the end of the first half. Executive Lounge and CEO office will be the choice for CryptiK to potentially maybe see if they can showcase how it needs to be done. They are bringing in a triple ACOG for this whole being Echo, Maestro, and Doc, and I'm quite actually curious to see how will this be played out, because to a certain degree I'm quite certain that we will be seeing Doc on a long angle within the hallway on the second floor. But the change though from Ash to Maverick from the side of SLG is what I'm quite curious to witness as well, just due to the fact that both of them are 3 speed, but those two operators have two, well, to a certain degree, 2 different roles really happen around here, because one is a hard breacher that utilizes his peak holes to do a hefty amount of damage to the opposition, whereas the other one goes in, clicks heads, and calls it a day, really.
So, first attack round for SLG. Wonder how it goes, because I'll say this over and over again. A team's attack, like the efficiency on a team's attack round, definitely equates to a team's worth, because it's definitely harder than a defense, and it requires a lot of coordination and a lot of creativity on the fly as well. Here we go. We do see Striking just throw out a couple of yokai drones. Is available to them. Fantastic use of them, of course, to try to deny this. Try to deny these plants. Sorry, these hard breaches. While he holds the very famous Kanto spot.
You know what? Usually, what Echo probably uses his Echo drones outside of sieging.
What?
Probably as those, you know, Roombas that clean up your house.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't unsee that, man. I can't. Roomba. Just throws one out every time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
out. Off it goes. And just launch it at the wall. Like, oh heck, it's broken now. But nonetheless, though,
Beyblade, let it rip.
Oh yeah, he lets it rip. All right.
Oh gosh.
Nonetheless, though, striking together some information, it would be him actually to hold the long angles behind the reinforced wall at the right nearby the banana.
No.
But it will be just very swiftly outed by a entry fragging Maverick, as JC will be able to trade him out, but only after taking a hefty amount of damage and deciding not to buff himself. He's literally on a slither of health and needs to get that stim pistol going if he wants to get anything done. But he just decides to flex on us, just says, yeah, I'm going to take out Juicy straight away without even buffing myself, and will continue to reign over the front desk with ease.
What is up with Doc mains and just not using the stim pistol? You know, like, he's obviously in the safest position possible at that point. Oh, sure, he doesn't know exactly where they are, but like, you're either gonna die or you're gonna stim yourself, right? So, we'll move past that for now, but Serum's already down. That's not great. Jam and Sushi are the only ones left. Jaeger and a Smoke. Smoke should be able to deny some entry using some of the gas grenades right now. President is low. Twent is not that healthy either, but Josh is in prime condition. I'm not too sure if he's rotated back yet or not. Some members were quite far away. Milosco but got taken out, and he's one of the top fraggers for that team. And as they're pushing up through the reception, it does look like, oh, the white peak from Josh actually cleans that one up. It does look like Jam is all by himself over by the janitor closet. Rotates all the way back through, decides to go back down the main hall. Drone does see him, and oh, while he tries to take it out, Josh cleans that up, and Sleeper Gaming win their first attack round in inefficient style, using the yokai, using Echo's shield against him. Fantastic.
Yeah, a very good turnaround by Sleepy Gaming, managing to find Echo very early on, and I'm a little bit questioning that choice to put Echo there, and probably one of the more vulnerable spots outside of the side, whereas instead just keep him on the side, keep him all safe and tucked out, because his Echo drones are his power, really. Whereas you chuck in a dock onto that very same spot, buff the boyo up, and send him to click heads, really. But what would I know, really, at this point? Executive Lounge, though, is what I definitely do know, so it will be a retry from CryptiK. How do you feel about that, Ian?
Locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Big thing. Okay.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What I think is CryptiK potentially gonna try to probably set the same positioning up, but this time have maybe either Doc playing aggressively, or maybe just hopefully just having Doc in general playing on that position where Echo was playing, and see if they can just out that initial aggression from SLG, because that's exactly what was the demise of CryptiK, is that the fact that SLG just went out full aggression, and CryptiK were not expecting it in any shape or form.
Yeah, they push up quite aggressively as well. That entry frag Maverick pushing up the spiral stairs with the drone. Honestly, the drone was a distraction the entire time, and he followed the drone, and he played it quite well. So it was a great job from him. Fantastic job from Sleeper to coordinate that attack. And they had Twent on the dangle as well with the ACOG. So great coordination, great cover from one another. And Loska already starting off the game, starting off the round with another entry frag, another opening kill onto Sushi. And there goes their support. There goes their smoke.
Yeah, losing that smoke early on is definitely not what you want, really. As with smoke being able to deny so much area with his gas grenades, things are certainly not looking all swell. Serum holding a very tight angle right behind that couch, so he will have the element of surprise, but he's getting kind of angsty about it. He's gonna go for that peek. Can he find that shot, though? That is the bigger question.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it just yet, but no one's peeking onto Twint either. I don't think they realize where exactly he is. They know there's someone dangling. I don't think they realize how many. Oh, Drone gets taken out there. Twent already has an idea of exactly where the enemy is. Jaeger already in Janus. That's going to get called out. And maybe Sir might be able to pick up this kill here if he's still holding it. Yeah, there we go. Twent gets taken out. Serum with the patience finally gets the kill he was looking for, and maybe striking might be able to pick up one here as well. He's still in that same position over by the Kanto spot in that corner by the main hallway. No one's actually peeked him. No one's actually tried to take him out just yet. Thatcher could, but he's out of EMP grenades to try to mitigate anything else as well. That Yokai will still be live. Those ADSs will still be live. And he's in a fairly safe spot with a very, very dangerous angle behind the flagpole.
Yeah,
but
well,
he
just like that,
still dies.
Yeah, he still dies from another long angle. This time it will be as a fear to clean him up. And just like that, CryptiK are falling up apart and facing potentially them being put at a disadvantage with SLG at a match point. 2v3 though, with a quick succession of the trades, as 2v2 is now in effect, with Serum just deciding to go full on big cojones, man, and go for the push. They left against two players, but will be straight away shut down. SLG on match point.
SLG on match point against the top team in the LPL Challenger League so far. These guys are coming from a 3-3 win-loss scoreline, going up against the top seed 5-1. They've only lost one other game so far. And if they want to maintain that, they have to win 6 rounds in a row to reach 8. That's a big climb. And at the rate Sleeper are going, they're going to get this next one.
Certainly seems like it, as this time CryptiK are going to abandon the idea of trying to defend the CEO for now. Will be, though, bringing in CCTV and lockers, and curious to see what will the Legion be swapped off to, because bringing in an Echo actually would be a good idea, considering the fact that yes, they can frag out, they can perform, so that passive damage, well, only would really serve as the info gathering, and for info gathering purposes, Echo is going to be a much better choice.
It does seem like that, and I'm just interested to see how this goes, because now that they've got the Echo back on the board, and I mean, CryptiK should be able to pull this off, right? They've got Pulse as well, so they're fully kitted out here. They've got C4s all up in the hizay, man. They've got 2, maybe a 3rd if Serb has one. I actually don't actually know, but on top of that, they've got smokes. They've got 4 entry denials, 4 plant denials.
Yeah.
And hopefully, okay. JCZ gonna go with the shield, okay. Doesn't seem like it's a viable choice this time around, but no, we'll just put the shield behind the truck. That seems a bit smarter. And oh no, not like that. That's a dirty angle.
That could certainly be a dirty angle, but that is only up until the fact that he could be potentially drawn. But meanwhile, already Miloska is on the case. Detective Holmes with his Inox will be attempting to clear out some of the area. And Josh already quite hastily gets rid of 2 of his EMPs without really thinking. So only 1 EMP will be used to potentially disable the yokai. Which to me feels a bit odd, to say at the very least, just due to the fact that really it could have been used for way better things. But I guess solo face checking the angles is what you would want as well. Striking already being tracked by the Jackal, but that's not gonna really give away any new information, really. And with that in mind, CryptiK will be attempting to counter the push.
Yep, so CryptiK are deciding whether or not they're going to rotate all their yokai drones over into the site that they know is going to go for a plant, or whether they keep one by JCZ in order to keep him safe and bring him a little bit more intel while he is on those drones trying to deny that plant. Jam is holding that main stairs. Does look like Juicy's pushing down. He won't know he actually won't know until let's say the barbed wire starts getting pulled off. Serum gets downed over there. Smoke does go out. Does look like they will get the pickup though. And while the smoke is smoke is still going down. Oh no, not like this, Twit!
No,
oh, no. Not like this, Twit! Oh my gosh, that huge grenade is going to turn this entire game and almost secure this win unless JCZ can pull in anything but a miracle. Denies the plant with the Echo Yokai. Sonic Burst. Sorry, I lost my words before. I wanted to say something, but I realized that I'm on national TV right now. I'm not really, but you know, I can't really say anything at all here. Gotta keep it PG for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, JCZ has to just prone, hunker down and wait patiently. Don't peek it, JCZ. You're gonna mess this up, man. Just wait with the yokai, dude. Jam still is hunking around. They know one person is flanking all the way around to the backside. JCZ was waiting for him. The double kill goes down. He takes a little bit of damage, but Jam picks up the next one. Twin picks up a quad kill. Will he pick up the ace? He pushes down. No, he will be denied. JCZ cleans that up, and that was one heck of a round, dude. Oh, no. Twent almost had the ace. The triple kill from the grenade, perfectly timed, only denied by JCZ. Clutching it out for CryptiK, denying that 7-2 scoreline, bringing it to 6-3 right now. Cthulhu, what happened, dude? What happened, man?
Well, SLG got overly confident at the end after getting that triple nade, and really when watching the time and the moment that came around, well, that was pretty much about it, really. With the JC being able to play it very smartly, far out, holding a long angle, and having the yokai drones all around, just exactly what he needed to do out there. So all in all, big props to the Echo player, of the CryptiK. And we'll be seeing yet another attempt at CEO office that really got outed from the hands of CryptiK 2 times in a row. Hopefully, maybe this time we will be seeing a different set of events. This time, considering that CryptiK did bring a 4th ACOG as well.
Yeah, and oh, dude, seriously. Okay, so Serum's gonna. They're stacking it up. They're stacking this gunfire, this gun power, right? They're stacking it up, and they're trying to bring in, like you said, these frags. Yeah. How are they gonna do it? What do they need to do to enable it strategically? What do you think?
Well, to enable it, they just need to essentially play a very heavy anchor game up and around here. Considering the fact that before they tried to have like that semi-aggressive play going, but ultimately got shut down by even more aggressive play from SLG. So they need to get back a little bit closer to the side, hold those very cheeky angles, like make a couple of punch holes, and then from there you hold those angles as steady as you can, because otherwise you are very much prone to being tapped in the head, couple bullet, and then you'll be forced to chill out at the spectator screen.
Oh no! Here we go. Serum already getting aggressive on the soft wall by the CEO. Skylight wall opens up a line of sight. A lot of gunfire coming through. Does give him some information that there are a lot of members from SLG peeking that hole. A couple of grenades go out there. Not exactly going to pick up anything just yet. No extra line of sight being taken out there, and a drone getting denied from the lobby. So a couple of pings coming out from CryptiK, noting that, you know what, someone was droning this area here. We might be seeing someone push up. Juicy picks up a kill, but oh my gosh, he doesn't get the second strike and cleans that up. Takes a lot of damage though, and Josh refrags for him in return. Velasquez downstairs doing his thing, hits a bit of a concrete floor, but he finds the soft ones eventually. There we go. He has a bottom to top angle now over into the the meeting room. Serum's playing by the windows here, trying to find Twent, as he did before. Maybe he might find a second coming of it. He has one frag grenade available, but if he overpeaks this, he will be taken out. Serum rotates around there. He has too many angles to deal with, along with a breach. Now, the exothermic charge has done some work, and now he has to play a little bit more aggressively, relying on his teammates to feed him some information with the yokais already set for him. And oh my gosh, Velasquez misses him as he drops down. A double kill going to Serum right now from CryptiK. And it's all going to come down to Josh and Twent. 2-3 right now. Josh might pick up this extra kill here as the Thatcher. Both these SAS operators are drawing it real close and oh so tight. Josh picks up one more kill. The Rappel comes in as well, and they might have to pick up this diffuser that's sitting over by the skylight stairwell. Twent has to push through, and it does look like a couple of pings go downstairs. They definitely have some drones on that, but so does the yokai. Serum rotates one over. He won't be able to shoot in return, but he should be able to deny this plant if it does come through. So they're gonna let them into the site, deny this plant, and oh no, unless they get that yokai, unless they deny this, it's gonna be real hard. Sushi denies Josh. Oh my gosh, Twent's gonna pick up that diffuser, plant it down, and kill one more member of CryptiK Gaming. Oh no, Team CryptiK aren't able to deny this plant this time around, and it does look like Sushi and Twent are gonna have a little bit of a duel themselves. Twent actually jumps out the window and will probably jump onto this Rappel. He should have an advantageous position right here, but he's on 5 health. One run out and it's over. There we go. CryptiK finally end the onslaught that was that round. Cthulhu, they clutch another one. 4-6 right now, and you know what? It was so close.
All I'm gonna say, Ian, comeback is real.
The comebacks are real, dude.
The comeback is real as real as it could get, really. 4-6, and CryptiK are bringing this back so far. 2 rounds in a row, managing to clutch it out, albeit it was extremely close. And I'm curious to see what will they show us on the Telus Office and Archive, because the other 2 sites were already showcased. Well, CCTV and Locus CryptiK played very well, considering even though that it was a bit of a throw with that triple nade death, but JC played it flawlessly. CEO, well, they managed to bring it back again. The usage of Echo bites, really. SLG in the back once again. The fact that they didn't ban him out. And really, if they keep this on, if they keep the Echo alive throughout this round as well, this will be yet another round going into the hands of CryptiK.
I don't know, dude. The clutches are so strong right now, and it's really not like Sleeper are throwing it. CryptiK are just taking the extra risk, and it's just paying off for them so far. Maloska was in a great position, and he just didn't expect the Echo to vault over the balcony on top of him. That was just bad timing for Maloska and fantastic timing for Serum. Great job so far.
Indeed. Well, for now, full-on opening for the rotations into the open area and kitchen, which should be quite interesting to see how will CryptiK play it out, just due to the fact that this would allow them so much more rotation power. This would allow them a fair few flanks as well, and SLG will need to be extra thorough on clearing out those angles, because otherwise they might be in a whole lot of trouble. But as it stands, Miloska will be the one to just pushing up on ahead and see if he can get some openings straight away from above with less than a minute gone.
Oof. And you know what? Time's running out. If SLG want to make this work, they have to push it a little bit harder. Bring that aggression they brought in every other round they did win, and convert that into another win to seal the deal on their first map here. Oh, well, CryptiK's doing something sneaky. It's not just you know, dirty sneaky. It's aggressive dirty sneaky. It's a special kind of dirty sneaky. Oh damn, I feel bad watching this. Some nice angles here from Juicy as they push through and they try to open up this cafeteria. Cthulhu, what are your thoughts so far?
So far, I'm thinking that SLG are taking a pretty stable approach. Having the couple angles set up from above is definitely a good idea. But all in all, CryptiK really need to get their stuff going. Otherwise, we might be seeing a 7-4 scoreline. Miloska to take down Sushi is certainly something that SLG would want right now.
Oh, all right. So a couple of gunfire shots coming out from stairwell down there. Josh pre-firing as he tries to push through, maybe gain some ground. No, he's gonna just push back and hold that angle. He's definitely pushing through now, and it does seem like he has the advantage. A couple of rotation holes being made here. Takes care of the barbed wire. Alarm goes off. He's gonna have to want to use his time to actually gain some ground. Oh no, my gosh! I don't know how Striking actually lived through that grenade, but he definitely somehow did. Rotated quickly enough, and it does look like Serum cleans up with the T5. JCZ with the MP5 SD. And Sleeper Gaming get the plant down. So Maloska upstairs gets the down, maybe. President gets a kill on the Serum to help clean that up, most likely. And it does look like JCZ has to try to find his way in to find that diffuser. And then after finding the diffuser, counter-defuse it. Maloska already killed Striking, and there we go. The top-down control is real and it's strong. And this might just be the round. It might be the round that Sleeper Gaming come in and clean this up and actually lock down their first win here against the top team of the LPL Challenger League. 4-6 right now. The time is ticking, and you know what? By this time, even if they kill all of SLG, they won't be able to counter-defuse this. Cthulhu, Sleeper Gaming lock in their win for the first map here on Bank. What an amazing half.
That last round was an absolute roller coaster of emotion, and Miloska just decides to style at the end with a hip fire kill. Fantastic performance, fantastic all in all for Sleeper Gaming to win over CryptiK, and this has definitely been a great showcase for them. Whereas on the side of CryptiK, it's a little bit of a disappointing performance, really, considering the fact that they were able to showcase us some great siege last week, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely did have a better time last week, and they were in better form, far more coordinated as well, and against another team that we all know to have been so dominant as well. So now that we're having a team swap sides, we're going to another map now. I believe that map is is it? No, it's Clubhouse.
Yes, that is Clubhouse.
Yes. So we're going to be going to a short break while we just digest exactly what happened. Absolutely nutty gameplay coming from Sleeper Gaming. Honestly, these guys are on the rise and they're coming out quite strong. Can CryptiK lock this second map down? We'll talk about it soon after a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back. So, that last match was so crazy. A very different game coming out from CryptiK. A very different game coming out from Sleeper Gaming. Cthulhu, can you uncompress us one last time?
Essentially, what happened is CryptiK were not up to their game, really. And Sleeper Gaming were able to emphasize on those mistakes. The few people that were really going really well were JC and occasionally Jam. Striking as well had his very good moments, but unfortunately at the end, it was a 7-4 scoreline. Now, we are going into the clubhouse, which we will be seeing just the bans to come out right now. And with CryptiK, I'd imagine we will be seeing a Maverick ban out here.
Okay, there we go. Maverick ban.
Yeah, there it is. So with Maverick banned out, next up will be Sleepy Gaming, who would potentially either go for
Your predictions are on point,
maybe a Thatcher or an IQ.
Okay.
I'd say will be
Cthulhu.
going in for the ban.
Cthulhu in the brain, in the mindscape of Sleeper Gaming right now, eh? And okay, close though. It's a jackal. So, Anti-Rome is the name of the game. So Thatcher's still on the board. Kaid won't be that big of a problem, I guess. Honestly, Kaid tricks like a madman. Echo's being taken off, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mirror got taken off as well. But most likely, Mirror's not that big of a problem on this map, I think.
Yeah, well, Mira will be more of a stock standard ban, and from CryptiK, I would imagine that this could be very much the case. There she is. And probably the only, well, none of them are the oddities here, because Jackal has been a much more popular ban as of recently, especially on Clubhouse, especially on Coastline, Bank, and even occasionally Bank as well. Yeah, as all of those maps allow some very hefty control over how would the roamers play their game, really. But to kick things off, CryptiK are the ones that are going to be going on defense, with the Church and Arsenal room to come out for the first round.
And Rook. Okay, I mean, like, we speak about Rook quite a bit, yeah, in this high level of Pro League. Obviously being swapped out, thank God. Maestro being picked up is far more viable. Better gun, same ACOG, better utility. In all honesty, I feel like Rook is actually only picked for his gun at this point, and only if Doc isn't available. The actual armor plating doesn't really do anything for anyone anymore. Like, it mitigates a little bit of damage, right? But in a pro setting, as soon as you take that much damage, you're dead anyway. That's just the truth. So, basic reinforcements going out so far across the map. All these hatches need to be dealt with. What we're really looking for right now is our JCZ's cameras, the positioning of the roamers, and if they're going to roam at all. Does look like Striking is preparing something upstairs, but is rotating back down to maybe hold down the staircase and mitigate as much as possible. Maybe a impact trick underneath the kitchen stairs, kitchen hatch as well. But right now, kind of a couple of cameras going out, preparing a couple of things, and finalizing some reinforcements.
On the side of CryptiK, though, they will be needing to be extra cautious about how they planning to play this out. Serum just unable to initially find the point where he could put down his Evil Eye will be settling down with just the wall on one of the weapon racks. But apart from that, really, CryptiK are still setting up, and potentially if a rush would have to come out from the SLG, it would have been able to catch the CryptiK defense off guard. But as it stands, though, the Valk cams will be there to give plentiful amount of information, and President will be using his first exothermic charge to pop open the dirt tunnel wall, and then the secondary will be going on to the kitchen hatch, which could potentially be very much countered just due to the fact that I believe at least one of the defenders has 2 sets of the impact grenade, so the impact trick could very much come in effect here.
If he gets the right angle, I mean, this angle is quite potent. Moloska has been performing quite well. Well cooked grenade onto JCZ right now, picking him apart, and there goes your Valkyrie. So I mean, not a huge loss for the defenders, but definitely a C4 and an operator. You don't want to an operator, a pick in general. You don't want to lose too early. Striking's already down. He's going to be taken out real soon, and if they clean that up, there goes your goo mines, man.
Indeed. With that in mind and a half a round left to go, Jam will be going in for the potential late flank that could allow him to grab the kills, whereas on the side of CryptiK at the defense in Church, Sushi is the man on the defense and will need to keep holding
Oh, he's not down. What?
Keep holding back. He's not down. He is literally on a single bit of health.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Giving away the position of the Thatcher could be very potent. There's the impact trig, but it won't be saving CryptiK from the extra charge. Nice peek by Sushi to get things going, but unfortunately won't be connecting onto the Thatcher, and just like that, it is a 4v3 with Elysian pretty much just 1 foot already at the death's doorstep.
Yeah, so it's essentially a 1-2 unless Striking can get a free kill here, or delay as much as he can with whatever utility he has. But no, Jam gets taken out. Juicy from SLG along with a double to Serum onto Twent. It's a 1-2 situation. Yeah. Oh no, not like this. And there we go. It's cleaned up. Josh cleaning up with the double as well onto Serum and Striking. Well played by Sleeper, actually. Quite timely with their attacks, and their first initial free kill from Moloska really set them up.
Oh yeah, getting that early frag has definitely certified them to go in for the push. And I do want to also point out that that flick from Josh definitely worked for the better. But how many times can they do that? How many times can they allow to have a single player to clutch things up for Sleeper Gaming? That is the big question, at least for me, within the context of this map, because we saw a fair few times when SLG managed to clutch it out on a couple of rounds,
and it was mainly Moloska.
And how many times can they keep up that pace? Because surely not all of their rounds are going to be based off just them fragging out and clutching and doing some insane flicks.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Twent, with that quadra kill, we actually have to just say he got lucky, because that's the truth, right? He got a lucky triple kill with the grenade, well cooked. He had understanding that, I probably downed this guy unless I wanted to throw a grenade, cook it, and I might pick up a kill. He picked up 3. And then he got a nice kill onto the 4th person, but he could not get the 5th to secure the ace and the clutch. And even he got that ace clutch, it's still like, you could say he got lucky, Yes, you could say it was pure skill, but how often can you say that? How often does that actually happen? In addition to that, Moloska's free kill was really a free kill. That angle is so commonly used in high pro league these days. I'm pretty sure I sat next to Moloska at MEO, and we saw that same angle being used with the same operator, like Buck, fragging from that same corner, and then I forgot who we watched, but they got a free kill onto someone in that same spot. I'm pretty sure that happened on the weekend, and he just tried to do that again. So, you're right. How many times can they do that? That's the real question right now, because Josh is droning, and they already spent 30 seconds, so they still have some time. But now that they have an idea of kind of where the enemy is, they're gonna just be able to maybe push another couple of angles. But Twent is all the way back on spawn, and he's spent a minute there, unable to refrag for his teammates. You gotta drone closer to side or end the building. You're useless outside, not doing anything.
What is quite interesting to me is that SLG are very thorough. They have at least 2 people on a consistent droning, and even when the push is happening, that's precisely what. When the droning it matters. Although Josh already is pushing up to the blue stairs, and the rest of the squad is making their way over to an attempt to get the breach down, but the impact trick will be successful this time. Striking, already being able to deny one set of the X-Kairos should be able to get things going, but another set of X-Kairos to come out, as well as the frag grenade, will be able to secure that breach finally. And with that in mind, CryptiK will need to start slowly but surely need to keep fortifying their current positions because they are starting to lose some of the angles that they could have held.
That's true. And we are seeing that, the initial drop here for Josh is clear. He might switch over to concussions. He does have 2 left. But mind you, I thought that the push with Molosca upstairs with the frag grenades to secure that hatch control was good. It worked out quite well for them. Striking again, super low. The man is living on a single drop of health at every single turn. Like it's like he spawns at that health. Every time I see him, oh my gosh, Jam almost gets a kill over here onto Josh, but unfortunately doesn't land a single shot. Juicy, however, is dropped super low. The man is almost dead. Man's still dead. Man's still alive though. Jam picks up Josh finally over by the old pit, and there goes their posterior control, peeking out a little bit too early. Molosca takes a whole lot of damage, drops into smoke. Unfortunately, Serum cleans that one up real quick. Twen picks up striking, but Twen picks up double as well. Might pick up a third. Has to pull out that goo mine at the last second, but the plant is successful, and they just don't know where it's gone down. 2 pings come out. Oh, very nice. Sleeper Game cleaning that up. And Jam is the last one left, but he's got a double kill for himself. Will he be able to pick up another 2 kills? 1 upstairs already by the hatch to control it. Even he gets the 1 downstairs over here by the diffuser. It might not be enough.
Well, the pings are coming out, and Jam just needs to emphasize on that peak.
Oh.
There is the live ping. He needs to go for the pre-fire. There it is. There's the shot. So now the last man is right on the hatch. He needs to get that shot, or he needs to get the diffuse going ASAP. He will be potentially going in, but just unsure. It does finally decide to go for that, but the pros don't fake. He needs to stick it. There's the time running out, and there's the Juicy cleaning things up again. Sleeper Gaming taking the round once again.
Yeah, Juicy cleanup and a very efficient and a very patient tidy up as well. Sleeper Gaming pull up ahead 2-0 onto CryptiK. This might be their kryptonite, my friend. I have no clue what's happening right now. This should not be happening. This is a veteran team of pro league players just being dismantled at this point.
It's certainly not what CryptiK do want to see, as that is not the same CryptiK that we came to be used to, but
so familiar with,
Yeah, it's so familiar with, and for them to get pretty much outed that quickly is certainly not what they will want to see as well. But nonetheless, CCTV and Cash Room to come out this time. No more of the Church and Arsenal, knowing that this time it's not going to work. They are prompting to go for a different site, which could potentially net them that round win, which they would definitely need very soon. But apart from that, really, looking at their current lineup, only a singular breach denial in the face of Bandit. So if the Bandit trick won't be too successful, that could spell a whole lot of problems for CryptiK's defense.
Big yikes right now for CryptiK, as they are definitely, like we have been saying, struggling, in all honesty. Sushi really desperate for some drones right now, man. Y'all gonna need drones, man. Could use 1 or 2, Any spare? No? Okay, man. You say so, dude. Getting real desperate right now. Speaking of drones do go through, following up and droning F4 ahead as these guys push through to the kitchen right now, and Sushi, already giving up the drones, is now holding central stairs along with as well as the bedroom and gym with striking. Not sure where the players that pushed through this hall went though. They were like right here. They just disappeared. Josh already has some. Josh has some vertical gameplay going down though. He's gonna lose that gunfight. You don't really win bottom to top gunfights like that, man. JCZ already cleaned it up with Molosca as well. So Molosca had the first initial kill into striking, and the guy starts on 1 health. It was quite easy. But Serum is also quite low. So I mean, Josh almost had that. Fair enough. But now, in a 3-4 situation, it's still very winnable for Sleeper. Mind you,
The diffuser.
it's starting to look a little grim as I say that. But we still have Juicy, we still have Twent. So both these players have popped off quite big before. And they definitely have the potential to actually win this round. But it does look like it's going to be a little challenging.
Certainly looks like it as 2 versus 3 for SLG is definitely not what they will want right now, especially considering after that first 2 rounds they were looking so much more confident. But this time CryptiK have the man advantage. JC having a very solid line held there, as Jam will be revealing his position this time. 2 of the SLG players are rotating over through the bedroom, so they potentially could be able to get a drop if CryptiK players won't be too
Oh, not like
careful.
this.
But there's the C4. It will be able to get it down, but not a kill. But that should be just enough to put Sleeper Gaming at a disadvantage. There's the flank watch, as Juicy will be able to get the better of Sushi. And like that, Juicy will be able to pick up his teammate. Nobody will be peeking, so the rest of the CryptiK lineup will be playing a very careful game. But this time it will be a Thatcher down, so once again he will be picked up.
This is...
Both of them are
No!
20 health.
Not like this! This is not how it goes down, man! Oh, no! Okay, there we go. One more kill, but Jam's also taking a couple of hits here. If Twent gets this, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. The plan's going down. It does look like it's gonna be successful. Jam is already waiting around the corner, and if Twent gets this, I have lost all faith in CryptiK. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, now he gets it. Fantastic wallbang. Looking for the diffuser, and he will get it eventually. Huh. Oh, dude, that was way too close for comfort, man. that should not have come that close. I'm actually laughing right now.
All I can say is really well played to Jam, because the man has that skill, and we see it from time to time. He just decides to, let me just real quick pre-fire that one specific point in the wall and get the kill.
just AD that thing, man. Just like strafe it left and right to like get the kill. You know, he's gonna be there 100%. Gets it, diffuses, counter diffuses. Oh my gosh, that was insane. Okay, so we're seeing 2 very interesting rumors coming out. One's gonna be swapped off, obviously. I wouldn't expect that CryptiK were that desperate to bring out the Caveira just yet, but Vigil coming out kind of makes sense as well. There's a lot of roam and a lot of counter game coming along, and why would you pick line into Vigil?
Well, potentially they were thinking that that was a bluff, or maybe they just forgot that Vigil's utility now finally counters the
Lion E1D.
The Lion E1D, yeah. But nonetheless, Lion still could be a very good utility, though. Albeit that it's literally only a single operator out of the whole defense that can counter it. The rest 4 will have to make do, really.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, you know, maybe they think like, oh yeah, Vigils won't be that much of a problem. He'll have more freedom than he should. But at the same time, we also feel that the rest of the operators were going to have a harder time, and it's going to be more important to lock down the actual site and instead of the one roamer that we may or may not kill immediately, yeah? So, if that is the logic that they're going by, I understand exactly what they're trying to do. However, if they thought that CryptiK were going to keep the Caveira and swap the Vigil off, because that was a logical choice, then...
You alright?
Yeah, I'm having some... This is what I sound like when I have doubts.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not go there again.
Words hard.
Yeah,
but,
words hard. Words hard. Belief weak.
While words are being hard, we do have a bandit trick to come out from CryptiK, even after the bandit was already spotted with the EE1D. That will not be preventing him whatsoever from doing the bandit trick, because literally nobody is actually watching that window. So if there was a line watching the window and peeking there, then it would have been a successful frag and successful bait.
Flash it, dude. Come on, man. Okay, they see it going on and they don't know he's down, but They know it's cleared, and they saw a couple of pings of him going into the bathroom. So they might be able to pick up the kill here. He's in a safe position, and JCZ might be able to get this kill. No, Twit wins it out with the V308. Sushi's over by the garage. They don't exactly know where he is, but Striking gets a nice run out onto Twent, while Josh onto Serum. So there goes your Elder. And I suppose that's a fair trade. Not exactly what they wanted, but there we go. A nice plant going down, and Vigil gets a nice flank here. Not anyone outside the gym at this point in time, and I don't think they're going to be able to react to this. But they are in a good position to actually hold this plant down. So, 2 to 3, pinching for both sides. It does look like one does go down. Sushi gets taken out. President with that one. Not sure what the last one is, and there we go. Sleeper Gaming clean out round 4 with a very convincing round. The E1Ds didn't really help as well as they thought it would, but they eventually got it done.
They indeed got it at the end, and SLG once again showcasing that they can play it out very well. 3-1 scoreline, and we are only 2 rounds away from finishing the first half of Clubhouse, and that being the final map of today. Curious to see how will this work out for SLG, whether they will be able to push it all the way, or whether we will be seeing a CryptiK comeback maybe.
Could very well be the CryptiK comeback, but it's a far away from home right now, man. They're really struggling, and SLG are really excelling on this attack right now. I'm scared to see them on defense for Clubhouse. If they planned and they mind gamed CryptiK into picking Clubhouse, ooh. Smart. But here we go. We're going downstairs again. Surely they won't get another free kill here with Mollusca on that frag grenade, and it's going to be a little bit harder. Surely. JCZ will be helping to reinforce along with Sushi, who is going to reinforce backwards. And the reason for that, boys and girls, is because if you do it that way, the thermite or the exothermic or the Cairo pellets will actually be quite will be on the exterior side of that wall. Whereas if you reinforce them from the inside out, the reinforcement, if you hollow out the soft parts of it, actually go in a layer behind where the impact grenade can hit. So that kind of counter denies the impact sometimes. Really depends where you place it though. So if you do it like that, it's a little bit smart. I'm not sure why they did it inconsistently. Maybe they're just trying to save time. However, if we do think about it though, some of these Evil Eye placements are pretty interesting, and they've got some pretty stat. Why is this shield backwards? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, we might be finding out very soon, but CryptiK though, already not a good start whatsoever. Already losing Jam this early, with Josh just prompting to go for a very aggressive play, and just like that, that is minus the Jaeger this early, and that is minus the presence in the blue tunnel. So unfortunately for CryptiK, that would be meaning that we might be seeing a very minimal approach to defending the blue tunnel. This time though, it will be the JC to rotate around, but to kick things off like that is not what you want at all.
Honestly, I think that was just a late setup and a late roam coming out from the Jaeger. I feel like Jam should have been out there way earlier than that. Oh, impact a little bit too late, caught in a bit of a precarious position, probably going to get caught out here. Oh no, it actually gets to rotate out of there and somehow spawned with a little bit more health than he did. So Serum already takes a lot of damage and is dropping quite low, and JCZ is trying to hold this blue stairs, the blue utility room as they call it, as well as possible. Has a nice drone though. Should be able to maybe catch 1 or 2 out there. Actively droning for himself. May or may not pay it off. But right now, Josh just has to hold an angle and maybe put a couple of shots out there to maybe find a free kill or 2. Doesn't realize that that drone is exactly belonging to the Mozzie himself. But maybe it might just pan out for them. Oh,
yeah, meanwhile
though,
nice the breach didn't manage to come through by CryptiK. Only a singular though, whereas the C4 to come out from JC will be able to get rid of Josh. So that is minus the Sophia this time. 3v4 still in favor of CryptiK, and a nice throw, nice shot will be coming out from the SLG player. So as it stands, 40 seconds left to go. Miloska will be the next person to contest the blue tunnel stairs, whereas it will be Juicy to drop down and potentially see if he can score himself a quick kill against Sushi with the SMG-11.
Yeah, they don't expect Sushi around this corner here. He's got the shotgun out. He's going to push quite aggressively. I don't think they realize he's actually rotated all the way to his backside. No, downs him from quite far away. And Sushi with the triple kill already might just be able to clutch this out. And there we go. CryptiK win round 5. And Sushi really pulling in for his worth right now.
Yeah, Sushi and JC managing to do some amazing work all around for their team, managing to bring themselves the round. 3-2 is so far the scoreline, and we are only one round away from potentially CryptiK equaling things up for themselves. Apart from that, really, it is all up for SLG to try to get as many rounds as possible for them before they will be going on to the defense.
Okay, so similar setup coming from everyone so far. Nothing too scary here. CCTV cache. I'm surprised there's no Capital though. Capital has been quite instrumental in taking out this CCTV wall. But there is more than one way to skin a cat. They have the Buck. They have the Zofia. They could attack it from below, really deny the actual planting area, and actually turn that whole lounge section into a kill box. But whether or not they'll go with that strategy, or they might even just try to deny the Zofia from doing too much from that either. I'm really not sure where they're going to go with this. Striking might do another run out here. He's done it quite a few times already, but will Sleeper Gaming read into that though? That's the question.
We're just about to find out within 10 seconds, really, or maybe slightly more. But as it stands, really, the previous attempt at defending that was very close to actually being lost, as it was all hung up on the fact that Jam was able to really clutch up. So, see how will this be performed this time, as CryptiK are still setting up their defense.
So, while we're setting up our defenses, it does look like Sushi. Oh, Molluska already starting with another kill. Gets refragged immediately, but that's your bandit off the board immediately. Once they take out those shock wires, that wall is open. For a buck, I don't know if that's a worthwhile trade, but it's definitely going to work out for them one way or the other. They're both fantastic fraggers, of course, but I think in this particular case, at least they get that wall open with no hassles involved.
Yeah, this is definitely going to help very much the push for SLG, but as it stands, like you said, trading Bandit for a buck seems to be more or less of a fair trade. Albeit that you are trading the soft breach for the breach denial, but all in all, right now CryptiK are a bit scattered. 2 players below the site, 2 players on the site, and really they need to be extra careful about how they're going to approach this defense, because otherwise they might be risking into staring at the 4-2 scoreline and not in their favor.
4-2 is still recoverable, but it's obviously not favorable to end your halftime on any map with. JCZ's dropped dangerously low. Juicy's not too far off, and oh, Twent picks up a dirty headshot into Sushi. Almost whiffed it, in fact. But Juicy gets refragged by JCZ. Well, it's not really a refrag, it's more like a trade. So now the scoreline's even again, but Sleeper Gaming are now in the lead and far healthier. Twent drops super low, and he's going to fall back just a little bit. Doesn't want to risk that too much. JCZ's dropped super low himself. And they just need to get this plant off. They're both around this central eastern staircase. And as they push in, they kind of get flashed. Double flash. Striking gets taken out there, and it's really down to JCZ to do anything about anything. They have all the angles covered, and honestly, it's just really... Oh, how is he picking them up? Okay, no. They read into that, they hear it, and then they clean that up. Sleeper Gaming win round 6.
And just like that, it is a 4-2 scoreline at the end of the first half. Clubhouse so far going into the favor of Sleepy Gaming, and potentially if that will be continuing, if that trend will continue to happen, we will be seeing SLG to claim 3 points straight away, and giving 2 L's to CryptiK that are currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard, like you mentioned before. So it is certainly a very peculiar match just due to the fact that neither of us were really expecting this outcome so far. But with that in mind, though, the picks will be coming out. CCTV and Cash Room will be now played out by SLG, and their lineup is slightly different. They will be bringing in a Doc rather than a Maestro for that extra fragging and maybe extra healing potential. But as of recently, we barely really
reaching, man.
saw. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
reaching. Yeah, we barely saw Stims really being used during the defense by Docs, and mainly it's just the MP5 usage. Whereas on the side of
I mean, it's a
CryptiK,
waste,
at the very
right?
least, where not really a waste. No, you still get the ACOG, we still get the MP5, which is a fantastic weapon. But being not using your stims, at least for yourself, is definitely a bit of a waste. And if you are going for just the weapon, bring in a Rook. You get at the very least, you get the impact nades with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. He could have brought in, like, barbed wire. Does he have a shield? No, he's got a bulletproof cam. Yeah, bulletproof cam. You know, it's more intel for your team. There has to be some other reason to bring in Doc, and I feel like they're not really utilizing him to the best. Like you said, not even using stims for themselves in some cases. Sure, you're panicked, but in that situation, in clutch situations, you need to have a level head and make calm decisions, because no one else is trying to make calm decisions at that point. Serum finds an opening kill onto Juicy, and that's the first time that CryptiK find opening kills onto anyone. But now they're on attack, so the pace is different. It's going to be real interesting to see, other than the P90 with the revolver. Josh? Hello?
Well, while Josh is hanging around the garage, it will be Moloska to pick up a nice kill onto IQ of CryptiK. So that is minus out another utility denial. So all up to Thatcher now to do some work. And the president, now forced off his position, will be allowing CryptiK to actually get the breach done. So as it stands right now, this is a good start. Just under 2 minutes left, and CryptiK already made the breach. So they now will have plenty of time to set up their push, to set up how they're planning to assault this, and so far they seeming to be having 2 points of attack, and this is exactly what they want. They need to split the attention of the defense as thin as possible, and then just out them one by one.
Yeah, so I mean, they're already opening up this wall here by the garage. Moloska's already getting pinched up, and he's gonna have to find a nice way out of that. Oh, he finally finds an exit. And he's got some backup up top just to provide a little bit of covering fire, and they do. The P90 has a lot more ammo available for him to really spam fire. Use the pistol to double stim himself. There we go. That's efficient use of the Doc. Bring in that stim pistol. Bring in more aggressive plays. Doesn't have to use it just yet. Saw a couple of pre-fires coming up. A couple of flashbangs come out. And yes, he's going to use this time to try to stim himself. Prepare himself from any attacks. Because definitely, they are trying to move in on him. And he knows it. He hears a couple of footsteps. He's just not exactly sure where they're coming from. He knows they're in the garage. He knows they opened the wall. As he tries to rotate around, he's just scared. He's just waiting for the right time. Oh my gosh, he finds one. The diffuser drops. He might pick up the second one. No, Jam chases him out. But Jam takes quite a bit of damage himself. Sushi gets picked up as well, but back down to 20 health. So Moloska is in good position right now to flank him from the lounge. And if he finds the right time, or maybe if he goes through the oil pit, he might just be able to counter push these guys with a good old flankerino.
Well, the flank could very much come out. 10 seconds left to go. The plant needs to happen very soon, but those gas grenades will be definitely denying all the ground possible. There's all the peaks, and there's the shutdown of CryptiK. Sleepy Gaming now sitting on 5-2 scoreline, and it seems that nothing will be planning to stop them anytime soon, really.
Sleeper are looking so strong right now. They're collected, they're calm, they're making good decisions, and they're placing themselves in good crossfires and really working together as a team very well. CryptiK, I feel, are just getting caught with their pants down half the time. Not expecting SLG to play the way they do is a big fallacy, and sure, they're just not used to other teams playing against them with this level of aggression or just the style they're playing. Fair enough. Maybe they haven't seen it yet in this league, and they just weren't prepared for it. They didn't scrim for it. But I think in order to bring this back, one, it's going to be real hard. They're almost at match point. Two, they're going to not just have to pick up these kills, but they're going to have to really coordinate. I feel like a lot of their pushes are one-dimensional, but if you look at the way SLG play, they're attacking from two sides at all times. And when one dies on one end, another rotates to take his place. And they're fast. Cthulhu. Did you notice as soon as it hits 240, they're in the building? Most of them, at least.
Yeah. Now they able to kick things off on offense pretty quickly, but it's just the issue that comes in is that they just can't emphasize on any further pushes really, because well, we saw them open it up in less than a minute. Well, sorry, just over a minute, pardon. And after that, they wasted essentially 2 minutes on trying to find that dock and trying to find a kill there, and only after like a month and not month, a minute and a half, only then they managed to actually find and kill the dock. So it's either poor planning or just wrong decision making amidst all the chaos.
So we're going for a bar strat this time. SLG playing something quite bold, but not for bar, but for Armory and Church, and that's interesting. Twent pick up a kill on the JCZ, and they have the ability to drop into Church and the Blues. So, but Twent is already getting flankerinoed. He's getting swarmed. 2 to 3 members already over by Blue. A couple of pre-fire shots come out there. And he's not exactly sure where they are. A couple of pings do go out, and the diffuser gets called. He's in a good position, and oh no, he gets caught in the wrong lean. Striking and Sushi pick up a nice 2 kills for themselves, and Prison is going to have to heal his teammate up as much as possible. 2 to 2 right now is a fair trade so far, and so far the strat's working out okay. Josh picks up a nice kill with the Elder. Sushi goes down, and that just leaves Striking the Habana left on the drone all by himself. Pushing up a little bit too early without the drone's information was detrimental to their setup, and now not only is Striking going to get flanked from the Church, if he doesn't pay attention, he's going to pick up this diffuser, he's going to put it down, and he's going to actually defend it afterwards 1 to 2 if the plant is successful. They have a couple of drones available to them, and it should be able to provide a lot of information as time crunches down, but he's left in the open, and he's trying to drone for himself in a really precarious position. The evil eyes are up, and he will not win that trade. He's too low right now, and Sleeper Gaming are now at match point, Cthulhu.
Match point and serious point, Ian, as this certainly seems like we might be seeing a very swift game here from SLG. Round 9 to come in, and the CryptiK just seeming to be crumbling under any attempt to go for a push really around SLG, whereas SLG seeming to just through and through keep on dictating their own pace, and this is exactly what they need.
If SLG win this,
oh, they will.
Oh, yeah. At the rate it's going, yes, they will. I would be interested to see how SLG go, leading up into qualifiers for Pro League. Maybe in the next few seasons when you're old enough. I think some of them are underage at the moment.
I do believe that is the case. Then
well, the future is looking bright for Pro League, you know?
It would certainly be a bright one. Yes. But another interesting fun fact is that if today's going to be a 2-0, then both of our games also are going to be 2-0. Very swift games, very swift wins for either one of the teams. Whereas, though, on the first matchup that we saw, it was kind of predictable to a certain degree. The PC419 versus Downfall, especially after the first map, it was quite evident that there was a big skill gap.
5 seconds left.
But SLG to CryptiK, this is taking us by surprise.
SLG CryptiK, yeah, this is definitely taking us by surprise. And even for the off-stream game that we had, the Rhythm versus Justice, we actually have a 2-0 as well, because the bank that was played first between Rhythm and Justice went 7-4 to Rhythm, and then Clubhouse went in with the same score, 7-4, to the hands of Rhythm as well, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
So
I mean,
all of the days,
oh.
all of the matches today were swift so far.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it is a day for dominance, if anything, and honestly, and seeing that these teams are taking out their matches later, we'll just have to look at the leaderboard one more time before we just tally it up with our minds, and we'll see the finalized scores next week. But we'll do some math for ourselves when we have a look at the leaderboard. Yeah, just for our own sake. Josh will be holding this bedroom corner here, quite popular as we've seen. They'll definitely see the Elder from that corner, though. It's quite big after all, quite long. It is a big heckin' LMG. Oh, striking! Oh my gosh. Barely made that out. Sushi helped him out with that one and Jam onto Molosca. So SLG already dying and falling apart on this defense so far. Not expecting this level of play from CryptiK. Albeit the fact that they were they're playing very elementary. Yeah? They just weren't expecting some of these angles. Getting caught off guard and maybe would it be wrong to say that they're getting a little complacent here because they're taking the wrong angles and you're getting a bit aggressive. So definitely looking like a CryptiK round. At least it's going to be 7-3 at this rate, but I still think SLG will win once they rotate the map. Well, rotate the site.
Well, at the current rate, it certainly doesn't seem like this could be the case. 5 healthy attackers against 1 bandit. This will be the flawless round for CryptiK, as they are not yet ready to get out of this matchup just yet. So this is, we might be seeing a very, very close coming matchup, considering the fact that we are sitting on what I believe is a 6-3 now. Yep, 6-3 scoreline. And only 3 more rounds for CryptiK to bring back if they want to bring this to overtime.
So still a lot of room for these guys to bring it back, but I don't know, man. It just looks grim, you know. They had one good round so far. That was the most convincing one with the biggest, with the widest gap. SLG still can't let their guard down. They haven't won the 2-0 just yet, and do they want to be the only team to not get a 2-0? No, they don't. They definitely don't want it. They want to be able to just fit uniform with everybody else and be able to say that, yeah, we dominated today as well.
Yeah, well, that's definitely what they will want, and they will want to close it out as fast as possible, that whole matchup, before they get exhausted in any shape or form.
Yeah, well, they can't get too hasty, though, you know what I mean? Like, if they just rush this right now, it's going to just go to custard. Like we saw just now, like, they just took so many angles they shouldn't have, and it just paid for it. Got punished real heavily, and they went 6-2, and now it's 6-3.
Well, they will be attempting to change things up from bedroom and gym to CCTV and cash. Last time we saw them play this out, this was a very, very convincing win. So let's see how will SLG play this out this time, and whether CryptiK will be able to read in onto that play, or whether this will be the last round that we'll be seeing today.
Yeah, so Juicy's already downstairs with the Valkyrie, an operator that he has been playing a little bit. And maybe a C4 play? Maybe. We don't want to lose that Nitro Cell too early, though. But the Claymores are up for JCZ, maybe putting them down around this 90 degrees so that they don't rotate too fast. Josh back in his usual spot, though, that P90, allowing him to put down suppressive fire, maybe just deny entry that way. Maybe that's his plan. But Molosca most likely waiting on a round out here. Not too sure exactly where he is, but he's trying not to show off too much either. Okay, a double breach. Try to deny something out here. Doesn't deny anything at all.
Yeah, that would ensure that the bandit won't be able to do anything out here, and a fantastic Claymore as well will be able to ensure that Jaeger will be no more. But with that in mind, yep, the breach still happened, but last time we saw the very similar thing to come through, and not a single advancement after that. So at this stage, CryptiK will need to be very cautious about what they planning to do, whether it's rush in straight onto the side or try to go for the take of the garage. They need to make that choice very soon.
I don't have much time left. I mean, they do have a bit of time, 1 minute and 15 seconds left. but they need to come to a understanding of what they want to do moving forward. JCC picks up a nice kill into Juicy, and already Sleeper Gaming are dropping like flies once more from such a strong defense, dropping it so tight. I cannot believe that Sleeper Gaming are dropping the ball like this. Twent also goes down. Serum picking up a double kill for himself, and Josh playing so scattered and so frantically, trying to pick up these kills but just not landing anything. President being the only one left picking up a double kill. He's gonna have to pick up an entire ace at this rate. More pings come out. They don't exactly know where he is. He doesn't want to go over the barbed wire just yet. Does know that a lot of members are hanging around rotating. He doesn't hear too much at the moment, but all he can do is just hold his position, wait for the plant to go down, and try to guess exactly where it is, and maybe try to deny it going down at all.
Yeah, well, so far his position just got revealed, but there's nobody. Actually, one person holding an angle. Nice angle by the IQ. Will be able to shut things down, as JC will be the one to bring things back for CryptiK. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're on 6-4 scoreline over here, and CryptiK are only 2 rounds away from bringing this back. This could very much be that much-needed comeback and a much-needed attempt for CryptiK to grab at least 1 point for themselves. Looking at the scoreline, though, let's take a look. Jam on 11 kills so far, leading his team, whereas on the side of SLG, it is Twent bringing in the heat. And looking at the scoreline, it's somewhat similar up until the fact that you look at Striking's scoreline, which is unfortunately only 2 kills.
I mean, can you blame the guy? He spawns on 1 health. But, I mean, all in all, like you said, Striking isn't having the best time at all. He has some moments, but it's not exactly always panning out for him so far this week. Clash is going to be swapped in, an interesting choice coming up from Sleeper Gaming, and I hope they're not reaching at this point either. Could be fantastic and exactly what they need for upstairs control over by the catwalk, just to completely shut out anyone. And maybe if they got some backup upstairs, it might be exactly what they need to maybe try to deny any more entry coming through. More reinforcements go down by the garage, and it's trying to deny entry as much as possible at this point. While they do that, some basic reinforcements all over the site do go down. So they're leaving the walls kind of soft in between, and most likely going to be using some line of sight. I'd be interested to see if President will be the one covering Juicy with the fire support, while bandit tricking as well. Hopefully doesn't get pushed and doesn't have to deal with too much either.
Yeah, well, start of a new round. Potentially we'll be seeing CryptiK bring this back once again, as this time SLG are getting a little bit more radical, bringing in a Clash for the defense. This time to have to be serving as a live drone at this point, right at the bottom of the lounge stairs, to see how things might turn around for them. The remaining of the squad seems to be just about the same. SPSMG should be able to do a hefty amount of work, as well as that Juicy could be potentially the live ballistic shield in that regard, as well as the concussion grenades from, oh boy, that was a bit of a tease. That concussion grenade could very much be the issue that SLG kept on failing on.
This is kind of smart, you know, using the riot shield for that purpose. Denies the bandit trick, but you know what, this line of sight won't be enough for them to really win with. And Josh picks up a kill in the jam, so there goes to Sophia right off the board already with that pre-fire through the Habana charges. So they definitely predicted that, and they definitely had that coming. But now that that's happened, all they have to do is just hold down the garage catwalk, and Clash just has to just sit tight out of line of sight from that window.
Yeah, Josh getting droned out, so now his position will be fully revealed, but he still sits on the ADS, and there is a Melostka sitting right at the bottom of the garage, which I don't think actually was droned out just yet. The breach might come out, so there it is. And
oh, that pixel though.
Yeah, that pixel angle won't be working out for Melostka whatsoever, but it will be working out for Sushi. So it is a 4v4, but 55 seconds left to go. Make it 3v4. as IQ picks up another one. SLG's defense is falling apart, and things are looking all grim once again.
Yeah, well, they still have a lot of work ahead of them. Essentially, that line of sight is going to be moot. They won't be able to do too much about it. Honestly, I think they needed a role swap here. Juicy actually needs to be in that catwalk to deny more entry, because right now, Striking could be taken down with the electrocution from the CCE Riot Shield. But I don't think they're allowing that to happen too much. He takes a little bit of shock damage, not much at all, if anything. But right now, JCZ just holding the angle, waiting for the rest of his teammates to try to push through and try to find an opening. He comes through with the SMG, puts the shield back on, and you know what? It looks like it's going to be honky-dory. Oh, he actually gets down. A C4 kill on the Sushi, picks that one up. President with that one as well, and JCZ's way too far for the plant. It does look like, oh my gosh, he gets the down, but it's not going to be enough. Sleeper Gaming win round 11 and clutch it out with time. I cannot believe it. CryptiK Gaming...
Finally,
CryptiK had that, and it just let it slip, and then President with the C4, and then Striking got zapped. Ah!
funnily enough, that clash pick was pretty much the difference that they've needed for that, and yeah, I mean, just well played SLG, and an unfortunate outcome for CryptiK really out here really, and that would just mean that, hey, SLG getting a juicy set of 3 points coming their way within the ladder.
And if anything, these guys are gonna feel so proud, because boy, they just took out a Pro League team. Boy, that is huge, and these guys are proving to be absolutely amazing, and that they have so much potential. Let's talk about some highlight points about that last match just before we wrap up for the night. That Riot Shield became exactly what they needed. President helped clutch that along with the C4. Without that C4 kill, would have been much harder. And I feel like the Riot Shield CCE zapping was the safest way to take down Striking, which took out an entire gun. And then the C4 kill got in a second, and then JCC was just on the other side. And you know what? You're right. That Riot Shield was everything they needed, because they also denied the concussions, which also then denied the bandit trick. The bandit trick, which allowed the bandit trick to happen.
Yeah,
right?
Well, it happened to a certain degree, but not fully, and it was just enough to essentially keep
them out. They just couldn't get in.
CryptiK at bay, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they had that line of sight, but as soon as that X-Kairos charged window opened, Zofia died. Zofia just got destroyed. Jam got taken out there immediately, and then they had to push through the catwalk because the east stairs was just too hard to take. An amazing time from Sleeper. Very impressed. Me and Cthulhu, absolutely. CryptiK, unfortunately, not playing like the CryptiK that we do know. Maybe it's just an off week. Maybe they haven't scrimmed. Maybe they haven't practiced yet. But definitely hoping to see them come back stronger next week. One more time before we finish for the night, though. Let's look at the leaderboard. It's not updated yet, boys and girls. Actually, no, it has been updated. Yes, it has been updated a little bit. So Team CryptiK 5-1 right now. They should be at a 5-3. Paradox hasn't been updated, so that's one. Oh, so it's probably 5-3 as well. PC 419 5-3. There we go. They went up from 3-3. Rhythm 4-2, doing better this time. Yeah. Voltic 4-4. Sleeper 3-3. Now a 5-3 scoreline. So they're definitely up here with PC and Paradox right now. And then Justice lost, did they? Or they won?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justice lost.
Justice lost.
So they're down there with Downfall at 1-7. So
yep.
I mean, this is crazy, because now Sleeper are tied up with Team CryptiK, Paradox, and PC 419. We have a 4-way tie for first place.
Don't forget, actually, Rhythm also won their 2 maps as well.
Yes, you are right. No, Rhythm are first place then, because then they are 6-2. No, they're 4-2. They're 4-2. They were lower before. They weren't doing so good.
Well, either way, for the properly updated
No, the R6.
leaderboards. Do check up on
yeah.
the LPL website, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that is
As
actually,
that will be updated very soon, though.
yeah, that is exactly what you should be doing. We're just speculating here because I just want to know exactly where we're standing. But
Yeah.
regardless, we are looking at a very competitive leaderboard so far, and all these teams are turning out to be very close to one another. But anyway, folks, boys and girls, thank you once again from me and Cthulhu. If you guys did not notice, Cthulhu's handle for his Twitter has been updated and it's proper spelling this time. So please give the man a follow if you haven't already. If I met you at MEO, pleasure meeting you. If I didn't, I'll meet you next time. Hopefully, me and Cthulhu will be at the APAC qualifier lands for the end of the season. Most likely Cthulhu. I'm not sure about myself. But we'll see how it goes regardless. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week. Cthulhu, any final words?
I'm excited to see how will the rest of the season unveil, and this should be a very interesting rivalry close to the end.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. But anyway, thank you, boys and girls, for joining us today. A sleep-deprived Ian is very happy to cast for all of you. It has turned out to be very entertaining regardless, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the LPL Let's Play Live Challenger League Series Season 3, Week 4. We're going to be going into Week 5 next week. Definitely going to be looking at some interesting games. We'll definitely have something for you. Stay tuned. See you next week here on these same two channels, Let's Play Live LPL_play and Rainbow Six ANZ. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.